WGN. The Rockies roll into Wrigley for a taste of Chicago baseball. Tonight at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
Leadoff single. Base hit. First and second. Bobble! Bases loaded. Into center. It's going to drop down. Jones is in. Here comes Cahill. Cubs win. They win it. 10-9. What a crazy finish last night. The great comeback by the Cubs and another comeback today by the grounds crew. Wrigley Field was underwater in the middle of the afternoon for a good 2 hours. It really downpoured, but everybody pitched in. The grounds crew got the field dry, and we are set for baseball tonight as the Cubs take on the Colorado Rockies. They're going to try to extend their winning streak. Right now it's at 4 and counting. It's the Cubs and the Rockies right here on WGN Sports in Game 2 of this series. Welcome to Cubs Baseball. Bob Renly and Len Casper with you. What are we going to see tonight? We've had some interesting games, to say the least. Two guys who've been doing it lately, Mike Fontenot and Alfonso Soriano.
And they're right where you like your two hottest hitters to be, at the top of the batting order. Fonzie has just been on fire in the month of June. Mike Fontenot, what a great story. This guy hitting .397 going into play tonight after his 5-for-5 night last night. Came up as a part-time player, has worked his way into an everyday role.
Well, the Cubs in the month of June have put together a pretty good month. Unfortunately, so is Milwaukee, but you can't worry about them.
No, absolutely not. Just continue to play good baseball. We talked about it yesterday. Everything seems to be coming together. The defense is much better. The pitching is much better, and a lot of timely hits.
All right, Ted Lilly for the Cubs tonight. It's Rodrigo Lopez, a right-hander for the Rockies. We have baseball coming up.
Now it's easy to sell your home fast with the No Commission Company. ForSaleByOwner.com.
We sold our home in 3 weeks.
I had no idea it could be that easy. It really was.
We've helped thousands of people save millions of dollars. We give you lawn signs and a step-by-step guide. We even have advisors on call to answer any questions. Visit ForSaleByOwner.com now at ForSaleByOwner.com. ForSaleByOwner.com. No commission, lots of help.
Hey! My beer! Come here, you little varmint! You can run, but you can't hide! Oh, you think the tree's gonna save you? You furry freak! Come to Papa!
Fred?
Hey, neighbor.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Mine! Let go!
No, you don't!
Yes, I do!
Let go, Fred!
That's cold. Don't worry about those guys.
I am just so sick of this.
Dude, what do you expect? You went with Geico.com. What, to save some money?
It's my life, okay?
Just a little loyalty would be nice, that's all.
What? Having Geico makes me less of a caveman?
Tina's here, we're getting back together. Hey,
Give us a minute.
Geico.com. So easy a caveman can do it.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly Home Run Contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance, along with your name and address, and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play, play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
It's turned into a beautiful night for Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports, believe it or not. And tonight's Chicago Cubs broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, is presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you in 5.1 Dolby Surround Sound. Cubs made a roster move today to help out the bullpen. Brian Dempster had been unavailable the last few days. Unfortunately, he had to go to the disabled list with a left oblique strain. Right-hander Billy Petrick, who was born in Kankakee. He grew up in Morris, Illinois, has been selected from AA Tennessee, and right-hander Wade Miller transferred to the 60-day DL to make room for Petrick on the 40-man. More on that later. Now the Rockies starting lineup as written out by Clint Hurdle. Willie Taveras, Troy Tulowitzki, and Matt Holliday at the top. Todd Helton, Garrett Atkins, Ryan Spilborgh's in the middle. Chris Iannetta, Jamie Carroll, and Rodrigo Lopez at the bottom.
And here's how the Cubs take the field defensively behind starter Ted Lilly. Brought to you by Pepsi, your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, PA, and Floyd across the outfield. Ramirez at third. Mike Fontenot moving over to shortstop tonight, making room for Mark DeRosa at second base. Derek Lee at first. Coy Hill behind the plate, and Ted Lilly, the left-hander, on the mound for the Cubs. Lilly gave up 5 runs against the Rangers his last time out. 3 in the second inning, 2 in the third inning. Retired the Rangers in order the other 5 innings of his 7-inning outing.
And we're underway on time tonight. The umpires, Dale Scott works the plate. Ron Culp at third base has had an interesting year, working the plate a couple of times earlier this month. He had a near no-hitter and then a completed no-no. Ron Culpa was back at the plate when Kurt Schilling got to within an out of a no-hitter earlier in June. And the next time he was back at the plate was in Detroit when Justin Verlander no-hit the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, he worked the plate last night, and it was not a no-hitter. Cubs had 18 hits, the Rockies with 13.
When you see an umpire involved in a no-hitter and a near no-hitter, you have to wonder if it's because his strike zone favors the pitchers, but that was not the case. Ron Culp is a good umpire, calls a very fair zone both ways. Just very fortunate to be behind the plate when a couple pitchers were on top of their game.
2-2 on Willie Taveras. Troy Tulowitzki, who hit the go-ahead 3-run homer in the 9th last night's on deck, and then Matt Holliday, who's leading the National League in batting. The pitch, swing and a miss. That's a strikeout.
Talked about Ted Lilly his last time out, went 7 innings against Texas. Really had 2 bad innings, 5 outstanding innings. Punched out 10 batters in that ball game. 8 starts here at Wrigley, an even 3-3 record. The ERA of under 3.
He had to battle in his last start in Texas. Got better as the day went on. Troy Tulowitzki. Nice curveball at 69 for a strike. For the Rockies last night, they had 3 runs in the first 8 innings. The first 6 not only reached base in the 9th, but all came around to score as they took the lead. Nice catch by Fan in the second row in the upper deck. I'll tell you one thing. The Wrigley Field fans are amazing. They're all here well before the first pitch. Tonight is a little different. I understand the traffic has been a nightmare today, and I can certainly understand why. I actually was here early. And between about 2 and 4 o'clock, I could barely see the scoreboard from our broadcast booth. That's how hard it was raining.
Tremendous job by the grounds crew to get this field into playable conditions for this ball game. I'm sure there are some very wet spots, especially in the outfield. The infield is in tremendous shape.
Up and in.
Yeah, there was a point earlier this afternoon you thought the players were going to need snorkels for this ball game. It was just raining as hard as I've seen it rain here in Chicago for quite some time.
Kudos to Roger Baird, the head groundskeeper, and his entire crew. Called strike 3, 2 down. And to the entire Cubs front office staff. Saw a lot of people out with the squeegees in the tunnels. Looked like the dugouts were taking on a lot of water, but everybody did a great job.
Good pitch by Ted Lilly right there from our Southwest RoboCam. That's that backdoor cutter or little slider. Starts it off the plate away, just nips the outside corner. That was a real good pitch for him down in Arlington last week.
A strike called on Matt Holliday. Now there's a ledge right where Mike Quade just scratched his leg. See where that little ledge? It looks like it's about 8 to 10 inches high. That actually wasn't always here. Yosh Kawano got the Cubs to build that to help keep the dugout from getting flooded. Ramirez ranging to his left and throwing out Matt Holliday. And the dugout was in pretty good shape today. Nice going, Yosh. And nice going, Ted Lilly. Cubs coming up.
Make it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. Tom, you're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad. Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
After today, Timmy never referred to girls as icky again. Yeah, Timmy. Dare to dream.
Well, another example. It was around 3 o'clock. The visiting dugout was taking on water, but you see the ledge in front there right behind the fence actually kept the water out of the dugout. So the Wrigley River earlier today.
I wonder if there's any fish in there.
Yeah, the Cubs lineup brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, Fontenot, and Lee at the top. Ramirez, Floyd, DeRosa in the middle. Coy Hill, Felix P.A., Ted Lilly, 7 through 9. And right-hander Rodrigo Lopez is ready to work. First time he has ever faced the Chicago Cubs. And Bob, he has not lost. This is his 9th start. He's 4-0.
See the numbers for Lopez on the season. ERA of 2.93. This is a guy that won in double digits 3 times for the Baltimore Orioles. 15 games a couple years, 14 games another year. Really had a rough one last year, however. Led the American League with 18 losses. Fastball, slider, changeup. Uses that changeup a lot against left-handed hitters.
He's 31 years old. 0 for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Soriano, who went 0 for his first 5 last night, but at bat number 6 was the game winner. 2-run single in the 9th. I was going to say earlier, the Cubs did something last night that we hadn't seen here in almost 60 years. They allowed 6 runs in the 9th inning and still won the game. The last time they allowed 6 or more in the 9th or later at Wrigley Field, yet still came up victorious. September 17th, 1947 against the Giants. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Base hit into left. Soriano is on. Well, that's his 2nd consecutive hit. Here was the last one.
A real good example to youngsters out there not to give up, continue to grind. Alfonso had a rough night, 0 for 5. It comes up with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. dumps a clean single into right center field to drive home a couple of teammates and set off the pandemonium. Well, that was good to see, Len. That's a sight we've seen far too few of over the last 3 years here at Wrigley. The team celebrating on the field after a big win.
Now a guy, Mike Fontenot, with hits in his last 7 official at-bats. And if you count a walk, he has reached in all of his last 8 plate appearances. 5 for 5 last night. He's just 3 points below 400.
Well, the thing you love about Mike Fontenot, I came in the clubhouse today as he was checking the lineup to see if he was in it. I said, you go 5 for 5, you better be in the lineup the next day. He just laughed. He doesn't take anything for granted.
Long pause by Lopez. Slide step. Fastball outside. Soriano with his 11th career hit against Lopez. They have matched up quite a bit as members of the American League. It was 11 for 33. Quick throw, and Soriano has to dive back. I'm telling you, I thought they were shooting extra scenes from the new movie Evan Almighty today. I mean, it got to the point where you really would have needed a boat just to get through the parking lot. It was that much water. Soriano running. Pitches a strike, and Soriano's in. Down to double digits with number 10.
Chris Iannetta behind the plate, 3 caught stealing now in 18 attempts. Soriano picked a good pitch to run on right there. Lopez was a little slower to the plate on that delivery, and Soriano got a great jump, steals the bag easily. Well, now Mike Fontenot has a job to do. Find a way to get Soriano to third base, either hooking that ball to the right side, maybe drop down a bunt. How about a base hit down in the corner?
To third, and Atkins looks. Soriano is going to try to get there. Helton with a throw. Save! So the result is what you want. Fontenot did hit the ball to the left side, not the right, but Soriano timed the throw by Atkins and was able to get in. You had the pitcher and the shortstop going over to cover third.
Soriano just holds his ground at second base when he sees that third baseman coming across the infield to make the throw to first. Right there, he just freezes, holds. He sees the throw go to first, turns it on toward third base. Another head first slide in under the tag of Tulowitzki, the shortstop. Mike Quade, a little body language there himself, telling Soriano to get down, and just in case there's any doubt, I'll get down on the ground with you.
Well, everybody back. They're going to give the Cubs a first run if they can get an out. He's chasing Matt Holliday atop the batting average board in the National League.
Big numbers in this situation. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Derek Lee hitting .455. Doesn't even need a base hit in this situation to drive Soriano home from third.
1-1. Fouled away. Matt Holliday made it out in the top of the inning at .353. Derek right now at .350. Top 2 hitters in the league. Ramos Ramirez on deck. Good block by the catcher Iannetta. They'll get a new baseball.
Seems odd to see a couple of right-handed hitters atop the National League leaderboard in batting average. For a long time, the top 10 in batting average has been overly populated by left-handed hitters.
Popped up by Lee. And Soriano's going to have to stay at third base. Caught by Jamie Carroll. And Ramirez will bat with 2 gone. We talk about momentum all the time, and a lot of times it's simply the starting pitcher the next night. But that kind of win has to be a huge confidence builder for this team, because we've seen other teams come back. Blown leads have turned into losses. But the Cubs showed a lot of intestinal fortitude, because all the energy in this ballpark was just taken away by the top of the 9th inning. But they got the fans right back in it in the bottom of the 9th, and then, as you said, pandemonium when they won it.
Well, and over the long term, it proves to the Cubs that they can come back. When things seem the most dire, they're able to reach back and find a way to come back and win a ball game. Certainly they got a huge assist from Kaz Matsui at second base when he booted Ryan Terrio's ground ball up the middle, his first defensive miscue of the season. But the fact is, the Cubs were in a position to take advantage of it, and I think that'll carry through a long way into the season, the ability to come back and win those tough games late. Something they couldn't do earlier in the season.
The Rockies have been the best defensive team in the major leagues. They're 28 errors, by far the fewest. The next closest on the list, the Twins, with 35, but they've made some key errors on this trip, and they have lost 4 in a row for the first time all year. The 0-2 on the way. It's outside.
You know, it's very easy to think back to the beginning of this season, Len, and base running mistakes, throwing to the wrong base, missing cutoff men, a lot of the mistakes that were made. And the common quote that you heard after the ball game was, "I was trying to make something happen." And the reality of the game of baseball is you can't make an opposing outfielder miss the cutoff man. You can run hard to first base, take an aggressive turn at first, and be in a position to advance if he overthrows the cutoff man, but you can't force him to make a mistake. I think that's been one of the big differences for the Cubs lately. They take what the opposition gives them and then put it on the next guy at the plate to make something happen, or to let something happen.
You had those catchers involved in that 9th inning.
Of course.
Bowen and Hill. Boy, Hill with a pinch hit single and would ultimately score the winning run. You were all over it. I think it was a mask block by Chris Iannetta.
There's a breaking ball over toward that left-handed batter's box. And you're right, caught the bottom of the mask, part of the chest protector. Stays right in front. That's a nice block.
Runner at third, 2 outs. Lopez with a 2-2 pitch. Another foul by Ramirez. Brewers with a couple of runs in the first at home against Houston tonight. Craig Biggio in the lineup for the Astros. He's 4 hits away from 3,000. Did not play last night. Probably won't play tomorrow.
Good battle here by Ramirez, running up that pitch count on Lopez. That was his 20th pitch already here in the first inning of this ball game. He's averaging 14 pitches per inning over his first 8 starts this season. A very low total.
Still 2-2. Foul. Not by much. Lopez can't get a ball by Ramirez, who still hangs in. That was crushed.
We say it every time we see a near miss down there. That's why the runner at third base leads off in foul territory. If you happen to get hit by a line drive like that, which would not be much fun, at least you're in foul territory and it's just a foul ball. If Soriano happened to be inside the foul line and got hit, he would be called out.
And it would hurt.
And it would still hurt.
Driven to deep right. Spilborghs can't get it. Soriano in. Ramirez chugging hard towards second. He slides in. He's safe. Great at bat. And the Cubs lead 1-0. A 10-pitch at bat and a big 2-out hit.
Boy, the key to the at bat was Ramirez was able to foul off the pitcher's pitches. Lopez was painting on the outside corner. Ramos able just to get a piece and stay alive. When he finally got a mistake pitch up over the plate, he rifled that ball over the head of Spilborghs out there in right field. Boy, great at bat. Just the knee is a concern for Ramirez. We seemed to move pretty well defensively last night, and no sign of a limp legging out this double.
I think he hit first base with his left leg. That's going to be a tough transition. He's trying to take some of the pressure off the injured left knee. But generally, when you're heading for a double, you're going to try to hit that bag with the left foot on the inside part of the base. That's habit, like you said.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Ramos has been doing that since he was a kid playing baseball. Just get used to certain things, and physically, depending on the length of your stride as you come out of that batter's box, you get in the habit. It takes X amount of steps to get down to first base, and when you get there, you're going to hit it with your left foot.
Cliff a little surprised. Ron Colposetti swung at that pitch, 1-1.
Pretty close.
In the end, Cliff was like, oh, okay, all right.
If you insist.
Right. Outside, 2-1. You mentioned the 18 losses last year for Lopez. That was after being the Orioles' opening day starter. He has won 15 twice in his career. Signed originally by the Padres out of the Mexican League back in 1995. Deep right field, Cliff Floyd with a 2-run homer. It's 3-0. Lou Piniella today was talking about this ballpark and saying that the ball really does seem to carry more to left field, and other than Cliff, most of the Cubs left-handed hitters have good power the other way, but he can turn on a ball.
That pitch was up and out over the plate. A lightning quick swing to drive it back to right field. No doubt about it. Southwest, how far did it fly? 379 feet. Another good at bat by a Cubs hitter, and more pitches on the total for Lopez.
Coming in, Lopez had given up 3 runs in the first inning in his first 8 starts. Surrendered 3 already here tonight. The RBI hits coming with 2 outs. DeRosa chops it to short. Tulowitzki with a good throw to barely get the Cubs second baseman. RBI double, 2-run homer, and the Cubs lead early tonight.
What up, P?
Yo,
I got an idea.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
American Idol Rewind, Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
3 big ones helping out Ted Lilly. He'll face Todd Helton, Garrett Atkins, Ryan Spilborghs in the Rockies second. Cliff Floyd right out there in right field could look up. Maybe negotiate for that baseball if he wanted to. They're hitting a 2-run shot. The 0-1 pitch to Helton misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Career homer number 217 for Cliff. Almost hit Todd Helton.
Well, not a lot of wind here tonight at Wrigley Field, but what wind there is appears to be blowing straight out. Obviously, with the rains this afternoon, neither team was able to get on the field to take batting practice, but this is the kind of night the ball generally really jumps here at Wrigley.
Go Uncle Ted. The Ted Lilly fan club in attendance. So the Ted Lilly family and the Ted Lilly fan club, one and the same. A lot of emails from his family throughout the season. I'm sure non-family members are invited to join the fan club.
Oh, sure. You just don't get the family discount.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
3-2 on Todd Helton. He takes a lot of pitches. .445 the on-base percentage. Second in the NL. Second time Ted Lilly has faced the Rockies. Did not go well last year as a Blue Jay. Lost 5-3 in Colorado. 1 2/3. Gave up 5 runs, 4 earned. He's in a different uniform now, pitching in a different ballpark. The 3-2 pitch toward left and foul. We told you about the roster move earlier. The Cubs had to help out their bullpen, and that's why Billy Petrick, a right-hander, was added to the bullpen. There has been a lot of speculation, not just today, but really the last several weeks, that the Cubs were going to make a deal eventually involving Jock Jones, but he is still a Chicago Cub, and Jim Hendry chatted with the media just before the ball game and said the Cubs have spent a lot of time working on one deal in particular, but he said, quote, "We got close. At the end of the day, I would not be rushed into it. We're open for business if it helps us and would help one of our players better his situation." So ultimately, to make room for Petrick on the active roster, Ryan Dempster was sent to the disabled list as Todd Helton takes first base. Talked to Ryan today. He's felt just a little bit better with the oblique each day, but he feels like it's a very slow process, and you hate to be without your closer for 15 days, but You know, again, you don't want a major injury if he tries to come back too soon, and the Cubs were in a desperate spot in their bullpen. In fact, Bob Howard has been told not even to go to the bullpen. Lou told Bob, stay in the dugout because I don't even want to be tempted to use you. So if the Cubs are in a save spot tonight, it could be Carlos Marmol or possibly Will Oman.
We speculated that perhaps Marmol was going to get an opportunity in the absence of Ryan Dempster. I mean, you can't pitch Bob Howard every ball game, so we'll see how it works out late in the ball game tonight. Hopefully the Cubs will have a lead and need somebody to come in and close it out.
Those are the real firemen. Grounded into right, so the Rockies have 2 on with no outs. Garrett Atkins loves hitting in this park. 348 at Wrigley Field.
Just a nice controlled swing to hit that ball to the right side of the field. You see these guys weighed out on the front leg, but he kept his hands back. Shoots that ball through that big hole on the right side of the infield. We talk about that hole all the time. A lot of base hits on that right side of the field with the runner at first. Now, getting back to Dempster's oblique injury, I mean, they're painful enough as they are, but you have to be very cautious with those injuries because they can quickly flare up and turn into a season-long injury that you just can't ever seem to shake.
Well, the warning track is damp, but other than that, you would have no idea that it rained as hard as it did. Skies have cleared up, some sun coming through in the last hour or so of sunlight.
I'm sure there are some really wet spots out there in the outfield that we just don't see from up here in the press box, and you would have to assume base hits that roll through the infield and roll through that outfield grass for any distance are going to be extremely tough to throw that ball back in.
And as good as this field looks right now, I guess there's a lot of flooding around town. So we hope everybody's all right. Stay dry.
Be patient in traffic.
I had an umbrella in the parking lot today, but really that wasn't the issue. It was walking through the puddles. A lot of wet feet.
I'm sure the outfielders have wet shoes already.
Well, Ted Lilly's got to find it here. 3-0. Larry Rothschild was completely soaked from head to toe. He was outside when the rains came. Taken all the way, and they're loaded. 2 walks and a single. And Larry's going to head out.
Mentioned Ted Lilly's last outing against the Texas Rangers after a 1-2-3 first inning. He struggled in the second, gave up a leadoff base hit, then a 2-run homer, then a solo home run before retiring the next 3 batters in a row. Went on to give up 2 more runs in the third, but as you said, then he settled in nicely, set the Rangers down 1-2-3 every inning after that. Struggling here in the second inning once again.
Yeah, he retired the final 10 he faced. Sent down the top 3 tonight, but in a major jam in the second. Iannetta hitting .211 on the year, has an open stance and takes ball 1. Yorvi Torrealba was back to the plate last night. So he's out of the lineup. So is Kaz Matsui, Brad Hopp, all on the bench. Lilly's 1-0. Pulled foul. I'm sure a few people are getting home a little late from work. And we're still seeing people come into the ballpark a little late. Understandable. Ted ready to go on a 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to third. Ramirez steps on third, fires to first to get the 5-3 double play as the Rockies get their first run. Now, Ramos had several options there. He could have fired home. He could have gone 5-4-3. He decided to just step on third base and get the double play that way.
Now, once you commit yourself to what play it is you want to make, you have to stay with it. And that time, Ramirez was going to the bag and throw across the diamond, no question about it. Didn't even check the runner going from third to home. Certainly from up here in the press box, it looked like after tagging the bag at third, he still had time to throw home and cut that run off at the plate. But as I mentioned, once you make up your mind what play you're going to make, go ahead and complete it. And that time, double play, even though a run scored. You might think about going home with this ball if it was a tie ball game or no score, but with a 3-run lead, Ramirez decides just to take the 2 sure outs, allow the Rockies to score a run and move forward.
Yeah, I think the lead and we're in the second played a pretty big role. And the other thing is when you step on third base, there's a funky angle when you try to fire home, and then of course the catcher has to apply the tag. There's no force at that point. Lilly can work around Jamie Carroll. He has Lopez, the pitcher, on deck. But he'd love to get the 8-hitter and face Lopez to lead off the third. No RBI for Iannetta, as Helton scored their first run. Called strike. Rockies are right at 500. Again, they've lost all 4 to start their road trip, which began in Toronto over the weekend. They're at 4th in the West, 5.5 back. The Cubs 7.5 behind Milwaukee in the Central. They're in second place. Milwaukee comes in Friday for a 3-game series. We'll have the opener and the finale right here on WGN Sports. We'll also have tomorrow's game 3 of this series.
Cubs creeping up on that 500 mark. Good series here against the Rockies. Do battle with the Brewers over the weekend. They could creep above that 500 mark.
Houston's tied that game in Milwaukee. Luke Scott, Brad Ausmus, back-to-back home runs early on. DeRosa diving stop. Does he have time? He does. What a play. Stellar defensive work by the Cubs during this winning streak. And Mark DeRosa, who's very versatile, has been playing a lot of third lately, but back at second tonight with a dandy.
Should we pick him up? He has Bud Light.
He has an axe.
But he has Bud Light.
And an axe.
I'm sure there's a reason for it. Hey, buddy. What's with the axe?
It's a bottle opener.
Hop in.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Look, here's Bud Light.
And a chainsaw.
That's cold.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the 2 of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh baked waffles. Do one. And now go to freezeclickwin.com for a chance to win $500 daily.
America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
Boy, the trend of solid Cubs defense continues here early in the going tonight. Mark DeRosa, a little bit of a range check here from our Southwest RoboCam. You'll see how far DeRosa has to go to get to this ball. Lays out, quickly gets to his feet, and just in time to get Jamie Carroll at first base. Well, that's an amazing play for any second baseman, but especially for a guy who's, as you mentioned, played right field. He's played third base. He's played a little second. Very natural defender no matter where you put him on the field.
I think his versatility and his professionalism are two things that you almost have to watch him play every day for a couple of months to completely appreciate. He's been a nice addition to this ball club.
Well, it's one thing to be a utility player and be able to play more than one position, but to be able to play them at the level that Mark does. I mean, when he plays third, he looks like a natural third baseman. When he plays second, he looks like a natural second baseman.
Way up in the air off the bat of Coy Hill. This is a long run for Spilborghs, and he puts it away right near the padding.
I mean, I played multiple positions, but when you put me at third base or right field or left field, you knew I wasn't a third baseman or a right fielder or a left field. I could stand out there and knock most of them down, but watching Mark DeRosa, as you said, on a daily basis, you really grow to appreciate what a great defender he is.
Felix P.A. back in the lineup. Out of the starting lineup the last couple of days. Just getting a little bit of a breather. Bruce says he's happy to see Felix taking some more pitches. A little bit better idea of the strike zone. Lopez not able to get over to first, but Helton did. The reason was the pitcher had to dodge the barrel of the bat. So Helton was really on his own.
You'll see the barrel head right back out to the mound. Lopez holds up momentarily to let the bat go by. That takes him out of the play at first base. Unfortunately, Helton was close enough to get back to the bag and make the play on his own.
It's pitcher against pitcher, and Ted Lilly swings at the first pitch. Jamie Carroll will take care of it. 4 straight sent down by Lopez since the Floyd home run. The Cubs lead 3-1 after 2.
Can Becker tame this Romy old? Every time I bend over. Whoa. Next Becker.
Tonight at 12:30 Eastern.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
Switch to Valvoline's Max Life, and there's no telling how long your car will keep going. Max Life not only protects against friction, but also leaks, deposits, and sludge, the 4 major causes of high-mileage engine breakdown. Drive it forever.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
I'm the dude, you know, that or his dudeness or duder or, you know, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
Thursday at 8 Eastern.
Employed?
Let's meet tonight's Celebrity Bat Kids, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 12-year-old Jenny Spichala from Chicago and Mason Cusrow, 11 from Glendale Heights. They're having a great time at Wrigley thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For information and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids sweepstakes, go to WGNradio.com. Right after that shot, they went sliding across the tarp.
Slip and slide.
Top of the third as Ted Lilly faces Rodrigo Lopez. All in all, you have to feel pretty happy that Ted only gave up 1 run in a second. They had him loaded with no outs.
Good job of damage control, aided by some stellar defense by his second baseman and his third baseman.
The 1-1 pitch. Hit foul, 1-2 the count. Fontenot, a middle infielder, playing short for the first time in his major league career. Lou is definitely going to keep him in the lineup tonight. Wanted DeRosa in, so he's back at second base. And Cliff Floyd playing right. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3.
That's why you like to have that opposing pitcher leading off an inning. Lopez has struggled with the bat this year, only 1 for 14 now on the season. That was his 8th strikeout in his 14 at bats.
Tavares showing bunt. That's a very dangerous thing for an opposition. 24 bunt hits, 34 infield hits.
With that in mind, Ramirez playing as shallow as he does against any hitter in the National League.
Tavares, a former Houston Astro. There's the bunt. It's a beauty, barehanded by Ramirez. A throw, safe. And the Cubs knew it was coming, and they still couldn't get him out.
We talked about the way Ramirez was positioned at third base. He was drawn way in ahead of time. Gets a good jump on this ball. Nice barehanded play. Strong, accurate throw. Derek Lee does a little bit of a cheat over there at first base, and by that I mean he kind of comes off just a hair early, trying to buy the call from the first base umpire Dan Iasonia. But once again, Tavares credited with a bunt single.
That's 25 bunt hits, 35 infield hits. That will not be an infield hit. It's going to be off the wall for Tulowitzki. Tavares stopping. Here's a throw to second. Oh, they nailed him. Soriano with his 10th assist. They keep challenging him. I don't know why. He got a great hop off the wall and fired a strike, and 2 outs in the inning. Unbelievable. He's getting a standing ovation, and rightly so, from the fans right behind him. I shouldn't be surprised when it happens, but I'm just amazed at how far the runner is away from second when the throw gets there.
From Soriano's experience as an infielder, he gets rid of the ball quickly, a lot more quickly than most outfielders. An odd throwing arm angle, but plays that fade and puts his throws right on the money more often than not. Well, you just have to love this Cubs defense recently. They have been making all the plays, not only making the plays, but making smart plays. Soriano didn't even look to third base to get Tavares. With his speed, he was going to go first to third, no doubt about it. Soriano, however, had a chance to get the batter at second base and threw a strike right on the bat.
I have a feeling Troy Tulowitzki is going to get a phone call from Luis Torrero saying, "I told you so."
Don't feel bad.
He's been so good that it's actually created a somewhat awkward situation for the second baseman. In the case of DeRosa, and it was Fontenot the other day, it was almost that they turned around expecting the runner to be there, and there was no runner. The runner was still 5 feet away. You're expecting a bang-bang play, and Tulowitzki was nowhere near second base when that ball got to DeRosa.
He wasn't running completely hard out of the batter's box, which was his first mistake. His second mistake was thinking he could make it up between first and second. Live and learn.
So Soriano again leading the way in outfield assists. There's 10 on the year. He started the night tied for first in the National League. 32 since the start of last year. Number 1 in the majors. Just missed.
Well, we talked about that briefly yesterday. I think initially when Soriano moved to the outfield, a lot of teams tried to challenge him to see if he was able to handle left field, and he continued to throw guys out with regularity. I think, as you said, eventually the league is going to learn and be a lot more cautious on balls hit to left field against the Cubs.
How about that pick by Coy Hill?
Yeah, this is not perfect blocking for him. Sometimes you get caught by surprise. That was a fastball way out in front of the plate in the dirt. You never anticipate that fastball in the dirt, but a nice backhanded pick by Coy Hill, making like a first baseman back there on that ball.
As you often say, there's no bad way to successfully block a ball. If you block it, it's the right way to do it. Ball 4.
Willie trying to go to that backdoor slider, just doesn't quite get it to the outside corner. Coy Hill tries to give home plate umpire Dale Scott a real good look at it, but it never got back to the corner.
First and third. The pitch to Todd Helton, a little bit inside. I think the somewhat late arriving crowd has arrived. Took them a little longer than normal with all the rain.
I know it took me a little longer than normal to get to the ballpark today.
Look out, that ball smack back of the Cubs dugout. Let me ask you, Bob, as a hitter, you never want to see anybody get hurt beyond either dugout. You hit a foul ball like that. But there's a focus issue here. I mean, I guess everybody's different. Looked like Todd Helton was checking out to make sure everybody was all right. You got to get right back in there and take some swings. It's a very dangerous situation.
What really becomes a dangerous situation is all those people in the section where Helton just hit the foul ball, standing up and checking on the fan who apparently was struck by that foul ball, and look at their back turned to home plate right now. Yeah, it is tough for a player. I'll tell you, you hate to see anybody get injured, and in some of the ballparks, Wrigley included, the fans are so close to the action that on those screaming line drives like that, there's very little reaction time. And as a player, you can clearly track where that ball is headed when it comes off your bat. And you see it all the time, guys hunching their shoulders and trying to use body English to steer the ball away from the fans. But unfortunately, they get hit from time to time.
Just about every ballpark is extremely intimate. Puts the fans right on top of the action, and you're paid as a hitter to hit the ball as hard as you can. 3-2, first and third, 2 outs. Fans getting up. Runner goes from first. Swing and a miss. A rare awkward hack by Todd Helton, and Ted Lilly gets out of it. The Rockies fail to score. It's still 3-1.
What's so funny?
It's supposed to be a parrot, not a carrot, you moron.
Listen up! 3 Bud Lights for everyone, if this doesn't leave the room.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
You know, you only need one eye patch.
That's cold.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
At eHarmony, we match you across 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, not only can you log on to eHarmony.com and get your personality profile, you can also review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you would be matched up with according to compatibility?
He loves me for me.
Visit eHarmony.com and discover what so many singles have found. Log on today and review your eHarmony matches absolutely free. eHarmony.com.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Your official summer baseball station is brought to you by refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
I am holding onto the table with both hands. Swing and a miss by Soriano. Are you good with heights?
No. Not even a little bit am I good with that. I wasn't looking. I heard everybody saying, oh, that's making me dizzy. So I didn't even look.
Smart move.
It was either a high altitude shot or somebody's feet, and I didn't want to look at either one of them.
Soriano with a leadoff single in the first and eventually came around and scored. Jim Tianis up there. Wow. He's not afraid of heights. Are those speakers up there? Just a little nervous all of a sudden. Batting for... Whoa! That will be fair for Soriano. He continues his red-hot month of June. He was just named the National League Player of the Week for last week. And off to a great start this week with a game-winning hit last night. Another outfield assist. And 2 for 2 tonight.
Well, it seems like the offensive struggles of the early part of the season for the Cubs are a long time ago from our Southwest RoboCam. Little inside-out swing, dunks that ball down the right field line. Soriano starts a streak here of 5 consecutive Cubs hitters, all batting over 300.
Away, ball 1. And Soriano now at 312. Fontenot 391. Lee 349. Ramirez 301. Floyd 310. There's a fly ball well hit by Fontenot. And it's going to go all the way to the wall. Soriano will score. Fontenot's going to stop. It's a double. So he had his hit streak snapped at 7 straight at bats in the first inning, but starting another streak in the third. He's hit in 9 straight games and gives the Cubs a 4-1 lead.
A surprising pop for Mike Fontenot. He doesn't overswing at the ball, doesn't take much of a stride, just a little bit of a weight shift, and then lightning quick hands through the hitting zone. You can see Taveras shading into left center. Fontenot goes to straightaway center field over the head of the Rocky center field.
Still no outs. Back-to-back doubles to start the inning. Derek Lee the other way. Spilborghs will catch it. Fontenot's tagging and on his way to third. see the Rockies come in already down 3 runs. That's something I would think a hitter like Aramis Ramirez would love to see. Bring him in.
I'm not so sure Garrett Atkins is excited about it down there at third base, the way Ramirez has been swinging the bat. Productive out right there for Derek Lee. It'll go down as an 0 for 1 in the book, but he was able to move Fontenot up to third base and create a relatively easy RBI situation for Aramis. Unfortunately, he's going to pop it up in the middle of the infield.
It's caught by Tulowitzki. So the second out of the inning in the books, and Cliff Floyd will come up.
Now those run producers in the middle, they get extremely frustrated when they have that guy at third base in less than 2 outs and fail to deliver. But the way things have been going for the Cubs lately, you put it on Cliff Floyd, take your chances with 2 outs. Well, it looks like they're going to take the bat right out of Cliff's hands, which is probably a smart thing to do given the fact that he went deep back in the first inning.
That was his 4th home run of the year. He will be intentionally walked. They'll take their chances with DeRosa instead. This will be a rare walk by Rodrigo Lopez. He came in with just 8 walks in 46 innings, and 3 of those walks were intentional. This will be his first walk tonight.
I mean, there's no doubt this is a percentage move. Put the left-hander on base, go after the right-handed hitting Mark DeRosa. But if Cliff Floyd had done something different in his first at bat of the ball game, Clint Hurdle may have decided to do something else. But when Cliff Floyd does this in his first at bat of the ball game, it makes it a pretty easy decision to go ahead and walk him with a base open and 2 outs.
It was just a few hours ago, and we had no idea where the sun was. What a night. A run in first and third. DeRosa looks at a strike. Get out of the way of that one. Another good eye. 2-1. Be right back at you tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock Central Time, for the leadoff man, Jason Hirsch, Carlos Zambrano. Knocked down by Iannetta.
Saw Iannetta a little bit last year. He is very good at blocking those pitches in the dirt. Only 1 pass ball on the season. Had a little trouble getting it going with the bat this year, but a solid defensive catcher.
(3-1) check swing. No, it's a walk, and they're full. 3 on for Coy Hill, and Bob Apodaca, the Rockies pitching coach, is going to head out to the mound.
Take by DeRosa. He's ready to swing that bat, and ever so close to getting the bat head out there in front of home plate, but in the estimation of Dan Iasonia down there at first base, he was able to check.
And one of the biggest hits in that 9th inning, Coy Hill used as a pinch hitter. Kind of a different situation because the Rockies have a left-handed closer. And you talk about all the left-handed hitters on the Cubs bench, so Lou Piniella had to improvise a little bit.
When in doubt, run a catcher up there. That was a good at bat by Coy Hill, too. That was a changeup away and got fooled just a little bit, but was able to keep his hands back and keep the ball fair down into the left field corner.
First pitch strike. Cubs are 6-3, and Coy Hill starts behind the plate.
Don't need to tell you how important it is to tack on runs whenever you get an opportunity. We saw what the Rockies are capable of doing in that top half of the 9th inning last night. They've got some guys that can swing the bats in that Rockies lineup. Add on runs whenever you can.
In the air, left center field. It's the speedy Willie Taveras cruising over and making the catch. The Cubs get one. They leave three. It's 4-1 after three.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
TV Guide gives it 3 stars.
Don't tell somebody else you're going to string me up. Tell me.
A powerful story of a proud, uncompromising man. A memorable tribute. A moving, enlightening portrait of a forgotten hero. A powerhouse performance by James Earl Jones.
Hey, boy. Colored section's 1 row back. Colored section starts right here.
The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Underway in the 4th inning. Cubs 4, Rockies 1. And Fontenot coming up with another big hit. At one point he had 7 consecutive hits. That was snapped as he grounded out in the first, but then an RBI double in the third. Garrett Atkins, the batter, a 1-1 pitch to him. Misses 2-1 from Ted Lilly, seeking his 6th win. 3-3 at home with a .295. His earned run average has gone up each month. It was .218 in April, .466 in May, and .523 so far in June.
I think a certain amount of that is due to the familiarity factor. Ted Lilly coming over from the American League was a little bit of an unknown the first time around, but as teams developed more videotape and more advanced scouting reports on Ted Lilly, hitters have a little better idea of what to expect when they go to the plate to face him.
Jason Marquis, a similar situation. His ERA each month going up. He was going to get the win last night before the big comeback by the Rockies in the 9th. But then you had the ace, Carlos Zambrano, and he's getting better. The 3-2 to Atkins. Pop foul, right side out of play. He's not supposed to be there.
I'll tell you, it's funny for relief pitchers and backup catchers. They don't really like to sit in the dugout too much. That's a whole different world in there with those position players. They're much more comfortable down in the bullpen with other pitchers.
So leadoff walk, and it's Ryan Spilborghs who walked in the second. Well, the line on Jason Marquis last night: 5 2/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. ERA still a very solid 3.46, but it's been a while since he's notched a win. But he was good enough to win last night, and that's the key. Into right, that's a base hit. This is starting to look like the second inning. A walk and a single to begin the frame. That's what happened in that second when they scored their only run to date. This Friday at 1:20, the Cubs battle the first place Milwaukee Brewers here at Wrigley Field. The first 20,000 fans will receive a scratch and win card, and 500 random winners will get an autographed Alfonso Soriano photo, compliments of Gatorade. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards for second chance drawings throughout the game. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. Don't try to stretch a single into a double. Skied by Iannetta. PA under it. He has it. Both runners tagging, and they will both get in. Atkins to third, Spilborghs to second.
That ball continued to carry out there to center field to PA. We talked about the wind blowing straight out. He got too far under the ball, has to retreat, and then felt his best option was the reverse pivot, which is fine. The throw should have gone to second base, however. Not sure if they would have had the runner at second base, but they had no chance to get the runner at third from our Southwest RoboCam. We'll see Atkins advances easily onto third base, possibly a play on Spilborghs at second, although he does run very well.
Jamie Carroll from Evansville, Indiana. Shoots that one into the left field corner, and the Rockies are going to get 2. And when this play ends, it's going to be a 4-3 game. Carroll motoring around second. He'll stop there.
Ted Lilly missing his spots in a bad way in this inning. It's one thing to miss your spot in your favor further away from the middle of the plate, but unfortunately he's left some pitches right down the heart of the plate in this inning, including that one to Jamie Carroll. He just jerks it down into that left field corner to drive home 2.
Came in with 4 RBIs. That was 6 after the 2-run double.
Lopez should be attempting to bunt that ball to Aramis Ramirez at third base. Talked about his struggles at the plate swinging the bat. See if he has any better success trying to bunt. He has yet to put down a sac bunt this season.
Command issues have not been a problem overall this year for Ted Lilly. 1.75 walks per 9 innings pitched, second best among National League starting pitchers coming in.
Well, it goes without saying this is a situation you have to throw strikes. The Rockies are willing to give you an out right here with a sacrifice bunt. Have to throw strikes.
He's already tied his season high with 4 walks. There's a strike. 2-1. Pitt had walked 4 total over his last 5 starts before tonight. There's the bunt by Lopez. And Lilly will throw to first base, covered by the second baseman, DeRosa.
Given the amount of rain that fell here today, fortunately the tarp was on the infield. When I saw Ted Lilly go to plant that left foot and turn and throw to first, I had my doubts as to whether his cleats were going to catch, but he's able to stop on a dime right there, make a good throw to first base to get the out. If you try to make that same play out in left center field, you're going to slip and fall.
And Willie Taveras could knock in a run with a bunt hit, and that's why Ramirez is in. You always have to be ready. Bunt single for Taveras in his last at bat. Lilly behind again, 2-0. Taveras came over from the Astros along with right-handers Taylor Buchholz and Jason Hirsch, who will start tomorrow in exchange for right-handers Jason Jennings and Miguel Asensio. That was in December.
Taveras was a guy in his time in Houston that just could never seem to get it going consistently for any amount of time. Had a big swing, used to swing and miss an awful lot. Starting to make more consistent contact. And using that bunt to his advantage. With a guy with his kind of speed, it's a sin if you don't bunt frequently. Most of the time he'll try to bunt the ball to the third base side. He's been working, trying to get better to push that ball to the right side of the field, but for the most part, when he bunts for a base hit, he's going to try to drop it down that third base line.
He's the right-handed version of Juan Pierre. Wants to keep the ball on the ground and use his speed. He gets on base with the season-high 5th walk given up by Lilly. So Larry Rothschild coming out. And Bob, as a lot of Cub fans know, the scoreboard here, the bleachers as well, were constructed in 1937. So 70 years ago, I had the great honor today to meet Kurt Huberts, who is on the right. Rick Fuse is the scoreboard operator here at Wrigley Field. Mr. Huberts was the electrical engineer who designed the balls and strike system for the scoreboard. That panel right there in the press box controls the balls and strikes on the big scoreboard. He's a Lane Tech graduate. So they chatted before the ball game. Now that panel also has a switch on the right side where if you flip it, you can then go to downs and yards. The Bears used to play here at Wrigley Field. There's Rick up in the back of the press box. He's the best in the business. He gets the balls and strikes up there faster than anyone. You see right under the balls sign, it says down.
Quickest trigger finger in all of baseball.
Kurt Huberts was 20 years old when he designed the board back in 1936 and 37. Been a Cub fan since his first game at 9 years old in 1926. And he also designed the board at old Forbes Field, Bill Mazeroski's walk-off home run in 1960 against the Yankees to win the World Series, went over the scoreboard he designed. And I guess he brought some spare parts to the electrician here at Wrigley Field, Mike Dower, before the ball game. That's pretty neat.
That is neat. I'm sure it's a big thrill for him to come out here to Wrigley Field and see his handiwork still operational.
Curveball in there against Tulowitzki.
Well, we've talked about Taveras' speed in the batter's box, legging out bunt hits. He can steal a base as well. 18 stolen bases. He's been caught 8 times on the season.
The Rockies with 2 in the inning. Lilly's going to check on the runner at first. kick and the 0-2. Pop fly, shallow right. Cliff Floyd is there to make the catch. Carroll with a 2-run double makes it now a 4-3 Cubs lead.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
I can feel a change a-coming, start anew. Change, a change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
Charlie, Henry, wake up.
Tom.
You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad.
Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Wednesday on WGN, Sweet Lou and the Cubs take it to the field against the Colorado Rockies. The Cubs and Rockies roll on at Wrigley. Wednesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Hey, music fans, and you know who you are. John Mayer will be at the Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island for 2 shows this Thursday and Friday, part of the Bud Light Concert Series. Ben Folds will open. It should be a great night of music. For tickets, visit livenation.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Bud Light and great music, always worth it.
Felix PA, first pitch swinging. Todd Helton, 3 unassisted.
Twice in the ball game, PA has gone to Todd Helton, and I've told the story many times before. Frank Robinson, my first manager in the big leagues, after grounding out to Ozzie Smith 3 times, pulled me aside in the dugout and said, "Son, that's no way to make a living. Hitting ground balls at Gold Glovers, your average is going to pay."
5 Gold Gloves combined at first base in this ball game. Helton with 3 and Derek Lee with 2.
And because Felix PA swung at the first pitch, Ted Lilly not ready to take his at-bat right here. Taking care of some business up the tunnel there toward the Cubs clubhouse. Now he's going to sprint up there to home plate.
You know, I wonder if he changed his jersey, which I know Carlos Zambrano does in the middle of his start. You see kind of grabbing the top button there. We only knew about Carlos because of the brawl against the Padres. He came out, didn't have his belt buckled.
Well, we're probably fortunate the brawl didn't happen, we'll say 5 minutes sooner. Yeah. No telling what Carlos would have been wearing as he came out of the tunnel. Or not wearing.
Belt buckle's fine. Does Ted normally wear batting gloves? For some reason, it just looks different than I'm used to seeing at the plate.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he has any undershirt on at this point. Yeah, usually you can see the collar of the undershirt right there in the nape of the neck, but it doesn't look like he has an undershirt on right now. May have been interrupted in mid-change.
Outside, 3-1.
You know, it's not unusual for a starting pitcher, Len, if he goes deep into the ball game, to change undershirts 3 or 4 times during the course of a ball game. Start to perspire out there on the mound. As hard as they're working, that undershirt gets heavy and wet, kind of restricts your movements a little bit.
Lopez off the mound quickly, and he'll underhand to Helton. And then Ted Lilly might go back and Get dressed again. Let's step aside now and see what's coming up on WGN.
These doctors are on the cutting edge of comedy. Catch a full hour of the Emmy Award-winning series Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Welcome back to the friendly confines. He's just going to hang with Coy Hill. Take his helmet off. All right, we'll stop being the fashion police. Hit hard. Diving stop. Tulowitzki slings it across. Helton with a dig. And the inning is over. We've played 4 at Wrigley, and the Cubs lead the Rockies 4-3.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it? Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
Cubs lead by just a run after Jamie Carroll's 2-run double in the last inning. Matt Holliday hits it foul. Foul past third. Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check in on our baseball blog at WGNTV.com. Up on the blog tonight, I have a post about last night's incredible finish, game notes from our friends at Stats Inc., and info on the 7th inning auditions. It's all on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. Well, Bob, I spoke with Clint Hurdle before the series yesterday, and he has made a concerted effort to kind of pull back a little bit. He's had a pretty young ball club, as the Rockies have been building or rebuilding for several years, but it's a little different now. They're not in the development mode as much as let's win this thing. And he says, yeah, I've pulled back a little bit. He said, I took a look at how I deal with the players. As a former big leaguer, he said, I thought about how I would want to be treated. And since he's been around a lot of these guys for several years, they've probably heard everything as Holliday swings and misses. So a bit of a different approach for the Rockies manager. He's just, picked his spots for those teaching moments. And he said, I feel like I have a better audience now because of that.
Certainly, managers all have their own style, but I do think you have to be flexible enough to adjust to your personnel. As you mentioned, the Rockies have been in some stage of rebuilding pretty much every year Clint Hurdle has been at the helm of the Rockies, and now I think he feels a little more like this is a major league ball club that has a chance to take steps in the right direction, and he doesn't have to be quite the teacher and tutor that he was with some of the younger teams. So I give him credit for understanding the nature of his ball club and adjusting his style.
He's now signed through 2009. He and the general manager, Dan O'Dowd, signed 2-year extensions on opening day. A line out to center. PA with a catch. Helton's gone. And Atkins will come up. He's reached twice and scored once. I think Clint Hurdle brings a very interesting perspective to the dugout, particularly when it revolves around young players in the big leagues. He was drafted by the Kansas City Royals at age 17. And at one point in 1978, he was on the cover of Sports Illustrated being touted as the next great superstar. In fact, it read this year's phenom. Really a lot of pressure to deal with. He played 10 seasons in the big leagues, but never quite reached that potential.
Lifetime .259 hitter in 515 major league ball games. Well, I'll tell you, his managerial career got off to a great start in the minor leagues. His first 3 years as a minor league manager, his team either won both halves or at least one half of the minor league season.
Alfonso Soriano with a catch. Second 1-2-3 inning for Ted Lilly tonight. Cubs still lead by 1.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I ain't got no money. I ain't got no car to take you on a date. Talk to me, girl.
It's a classic that still has much flavor. McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese. 2 big juicy quarter pound patties of 100% pure beef, pickles, and diced onions. Some things that are old school never lose their cool.
Talk to me, girl.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
You fell so madly in love.
Rob loves me for who I am. It's really amazing to feel that Harut loves me so unconditionally.
This is eHarmony.com, where thousands of people have found that one special person to accept and love them for who they really are. And right now you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with?
We were just so overwhelmed because it was love at first sight.
eHarmony.com.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Funniest pets and people, Tuesday night on Superstation WGN.
Here's tonight's Honda Civic game summary. Garrett Atkins 1 for 2 with a run. Rodrigo Lopez has not lost a decision this year. Alfonso Soriano with another great outfield assist. He has scored twice. Cliff Floyd with a 2-run homer. Tonight's Honda Civic game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today. The red-hot Mike Fontenot playing shortstop for the first time in the big leagues. The 31-year-old Lopez delivers inside. Lee and then Ramirez in the inning. 5-for-5 performance last night for Mike. Popped out of the mid of Iannetta. I might have mentioned this earlier, can't remember, but I will tell you the club record for the Cubs for hits in consecutive at bats, 9. Sammy Sosa in 1993. Fontenot got it up to 7. Do you have any idea what your personal record was in that department? Hits in consecutive official at bats?
I think probably 2.
Soriano hitting 7 straight at bats earlier in June. There's a walk, so Fontenot continues to reach base. As we go back again, that Honda Civic game summary. Cubs got it going in the first inning after they were up already 1-0. A 2-run homer to right for Cliff Floyd. That followed the Aramis Ramirez RBI double, and then Alfonso Soriano with his 10th outfield assist. This was in the 3rd inning. Helping out his pitcher Ted Lillard. Troy Tulowitzki out by a mile. If you missed it earlier, Ryan Dempster has been placed on the 15-day disabled list with a strained left oblique.
We talk a lot about hand and wrist injuries and how it always takes a player a little bit longer to come back from those particular injuries than you might expect. And those oblique strains are very similar. There's really nothing you can do on a baseball field that doesn't involve turning your trunk and rotating around your core muscles. And if you've got any kind of problem with those obliques or abdominals, you've got to be extremely careful.
It is retroactive to Saturday. His last outing was Friday. So I believe that will take him right through the end of the first half. Well, the 15th day would be the 7th. So most likely scenario is you hope to see Ryan Dempster back to begin the second half.
Long meeting at the mound here between Lopez and his catcher Iannetta. Apparently not sure how to proceed on Derek Lee here. They're behind in the count 2-1. Well, they give Derek Lee a lot of room in the gap in left center field. Willie Taveras has shaded several steps over into right center. Matt Holliday in left field playing straight away and deep. A lot of room in that gap.
The 2-1 pitch. Outside. When we started tonight, it was 77 degrees. The wind out of the south at 5. Feels a little warmer. Muggy night after all the rain. Wind blowing straight out to center. The flags on the foul poles not moving a whole lot. And the American flag in center field is blowing straight out. Pulled foul.
3-1 changeup that time from Lopez. Mike Fontenot was not on the move over there at first base. A lot of times that 3-1 count, Lou likes to start the runner. I think he wanted to give Derek Lee an opportunity to pick a pitch and really put a good swing on it. That time just got out in front of a changeup. I think you might see Fontenot on the move this time.
He's going. Called strike 3, and Fontenot's safe at second.
Derek Lee gets caught by surprise. A fastball on the inside corner after a steady diet of pitches away from him. Not sure if D. Lee is unhappy with the call. It appeared he was unhappy with the call. I think he's more upset with himself. He sees so few pitches from the middle of the plate in. When he finally does get one, he gets caught by surprise and can't pull the trigger.
Average right at 300. On base a little over 350 for Ramirez. Slugging .543.
We know Willie Taveras has great speed out there in center field, but I can't believe how shallow he is playing for Aramis Ramirez out there.
In the air, well hit, right center, it's deep. Spilborg's on the run. 2 outs, Fontenot holding at second. Spilborg's staring somebody down up in the bleachers.
Really see anything. Yeah, not sure if somebody threw something down from the stands or just yelled something down from the stands. You're not going to have much of a support group out there, Ryan. I'll tell you that right now. Once again, Cliff Floyd will be passed intentionally with a base open. Yeah, I'll tell you, it looks like Lopez wants to pitch to him. He's calling for Bob Apodaca, the pitching coach, perhaps to come out to the mound. I'm going to talk this one over.
Is that one where the pitcher's just going to stand there with the catcher as long as it takes?
I don't know if I've ever seen a pitcher shake off an intentional walk.
Meanwhile, Spilborg still staring at the right field bleachers.
He threw the ball back into the infield, was pointing up at somebody up there in the bleachers. Like they need any provocation out there to get on an opposing player, but getting on him pretty good right now.
Not sure if he's trying to make nice or not. Well, looks like they're going to pitch to him. Nothing on Floyd. Here's the next one. And now looking into the dugout, maybe saying, yeah, I think they're going to give him 2 more bad ones now. So the pitching coach gave Lopez a couple of chances. When he missed with the first 2 pitches, he decided to intentionally walk Floyd.
That's the leeway that occasionally a pitching coach will give a veteran pitcher out there on the mound. If that was a youngster out there, I don't think there's any doubt they would have just gone ahead and walked Cliff Floyd intentionally. But Lopez had a game plan in mind against Cliff Floyd. He felt if he could get ahead in the count, expand the zone, he might be able to get him out.
Watch the Cubs battle the Brewers this Sunday at 1:20. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an exclusive limited edition Cubs bobblehead down. Compliments of Chevrolet. No hits in the inning. Cubs with 2 on, 2 down, and a base hit. Fontenot around third. He's going to score. Floyd's going to hold at second base. And Mark DeRosa now has 4 RBIs in the series. He had 3 last night. Makes it 5-3. A big 2-out knock.
DeRosa generally a very patient hitter, but with runners in scoring position, he's looking for the first pitch near that strike zone. Got a good fastball to hit. Lined it right back up the middle of the field.
Called strike on Coy Hill. A little scrape on the forehead. Maybe a shaving mishap. Missed a little lower and went too high. Fly ball for Coy Hill. Deep left center this time. Taveras can't get it. Floyd is in. DeRosa right behind him. And the Cubs have scored 3. A 2-run double by Coy Hill. 7-3.
Nice piece of hitting by Coy Hill. Great base running by Mark DeRosa. With 2 outs in the inning, he's off on contact. He scored all the way from first base easily on a base hit to left center field. Taveras' throw back to the infield. Short hop the cutoff man. Will Floyd knows he's going to score easily if that ball gets down, but you better hurry up because Mark DeRosa's right behind you.
In his first 8 starts, Rodrigo Lopez had not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any start. Trying to get Hill at second base and could not. Ball got away from Tulowitzki. He's given up 7 runs. There was a while, and it wasn't too long ago, where the Cubs were being carried almost exclusively by their first baseman, Derek Lee. Well, he's 0 for 3, but they've still scored 7 runs. Everybody pitching in. Taylor Buchholz is throwing in the Rockies bullpen. Carlos Lee with a 2-run blast in the 6th, and the Astros lead the Brewers 4-2. Craig Biggio with a single earlier. He's 1 for 3 and is now 3 hits away from 3,000. The broken bat for PA. It's going to be a tough play. It's going to get by, and Hill's going to score. Tulowitzki tried the barehanded pickup, couldn't get it, and a 4th run of the inning. Hill had stopped at third base, and then he was alerted by Mike Quaddy that it got past the shortstop. 8-3.
Second time in the ball game that Felix PA has broken his bat, and the barrel went right back to the mound. Boy, that's something if you could perfect that. Get slow grounders to the infield, you get a lot of base hits. Tulowitzki tries to make the barehand play. There's nobody behind him to back that play up, and obstruction right there. You can see Ron Culpa pointing at third baseman Garrett Atkins, but boy, Hill's going to score easily anyway.
We haven't seen obstruction in a while.
Yeah. Sometimes those infielders get caught spectating, and when the base runner gets to the bag, they try to get out of the way at the last instant, but that time you could clearly see contact between Coy Hill and Garrett Atkins over there at third base. Really just advancing on to third base. Atkins backpedals right into his line of fire, and there you see Ron Kolpa pointing, indicating that an obstruction occurred.
Diving stop. Safe at second. Carroll kept it in the infield, but it's a hit for Ted Lilly. Four straight hits now for the Cubs in the fifth with 2 outs.
Well, this has been a trademark of the Cubs offensively lately as well. Bunching hits. Getting 4, 5, 6 hits in a row to plate a couple of runners, and nice play to stop the ball by Jamie Carroll, but his underhanded shovel onto Tulowitzki's late to get PA, and Clint Hurdle on his way out to the mound to remove Lopez.
Taylor Buchholz will come on. The Cubs pouring it on. It's 8-3 in the fifth.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
You figured, oh, here's a loser, you know, a deadbeat.
Well, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
You cannot drag this negative energy into the tournament.
Jeffrey.
Bond?
Love me.
That's my robe.
I'm throwing rocks tonight.
It don't matter to Jesus.
Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Now it's easy to sell your home fast with the no commission company. For salebyowner.com.
We sold our home in 3 weeks.
I had no idea it could be that easy. It really was.
We've helped thousands of people save millions of dollars. We give you lawn signs and a step-by-step guide. We even have advisors on call to answer any questions. Visit forsalebyowner.com now at forsalebyowner.com. Forsalebyowner.com. No commission, lots of help.
He wants me sexually all the time.
This geezer's a lady pleaser.
Every time I bend over, can't you give him something? What do they do to horses?
Tonight at 12:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Time now for our Bud Light fan camp. Crazy night last night. A fitting song under the lights at Wrigley.
It's your money or your life. It's alright. It's alright. Don't need no salt to cut the flower. Oh no. I said, oh no. Whatever gets you through your life.
Los Lonely Boys, their version of the great John Lennon song, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. Tonight's Bud Light Fan Cam, always worth it, and Los Lonely Boys will be performing here in Chicago during the Taste of Chicago, which gets underway this Friday. Let's see, John Lennon did a duet with Elton John in that great tune back in the mid-'70s. Taylor Buchholz, who was acquired with Willie Taveras from Houston in the offseason. 2 men on, 2 down, facing the 9th batter of the inning. The Cubs have scored 4 times to take an 8-3 lead. Got pretty tight after the Jamie Carroll 2-run double in the 4th. That made it 4-3. Kick in the pitch. In on the hands. And foul out of play. Now remember, it was 8-3 in the 9th last night. And the final score was 10-9.
I love those crooked numbers.
Right-hander set at the belt, and an 0-2 pitch. It was a breaking ball, didn't break enough. Fans didn't like it. It was Soriano ducked out of the way.
They just overthrew a breaking ball, never really took the break, just spun up there head high. Soriano just ducks underneath.
Alfonso has to readjust that shin guard on the front leg. PA is at second. The pitcher, Ted Lilly, after an infield hit, is at first. Cubs with 9 hits off Rodrigo Lopez. Another foul. Stay tuned a little later, right after the ball game, the WGN News, following our broadcast from Wrigley Field. Another broken bat. The out will be recorded at second. 4 big ones for the Cubs. Love the 2-out hits. 8-3.
Caution, professional toolman at work. He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and now. Remember, don't try this at home. Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has a great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Planning on making this worth my while?
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
RBI hits by DeRosa, Hill, and PA. Coy Hill with a 2-run double. As the Cubs scored 4 times, lead 8-3. Seem to really be putting it all together. Oh, what a shot. The friendly confines. A win tonight would match the Cubs' longest win streak of the year, 5 games. And they're getting hot at the right time with Milwaukee coming in this weekend. The Cubs only play the Brewers 6 more times. They'll all be here this weekend and then a series in late August. So you want to be at your best going into that set.
Yeah, anytime you're trailing a team in your division, you look forward to those head-to-head games, or at least you should look forward to those head-to-head games as an opportunity to make up ground in a hurry. Ooh, cross up right there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Normally you don't have a cross up with nobody on base, but you watch the way Coy Hill reacts that pitch. He was expecting that ball to break, and it didn't. Almost hit him right in the chest.
Almost broke his wrist. 1-2 to Spilborghs. Weighted back on a slow curveball and bounces to third. Thrown out by Ramirez. Former Cy Young Award winner Rick Sutcliffe will handle the 7th inning stretch tonight. Get me over curveball. Strike one on the catcher Iannetta. Looking at the pitching matchups for the weekend. We mentioned tomorrow, the last game of this series, Jason Hirsch and Carlos Zambrano. Off day Thursday, then the Brewers series. How about Friday? Rich Hill for the Cubs. And the Brewers' top prospect, right-hander Giovanni Gallardo. That'll be a very interesting matchup. Sean Marshall goes on Saturday. Ben Sheets will look for his 10th win for Milwaukee. And then on Sunday, Jason Marquis for the Cubs, and the Brewers to be announced. Chris Capuano's on the disabled list with a groin strain, and at last check looked like he was scheduled to come off next week in the series after the Brewers play the Cubs. Starting to hear all kinds of trade rumors and where this guy might end up and that guy. And I think Mark Burley is going to end up in one of 19 places. And one of the teams that you hear about is Milwaukee. They might be in the mode of buying and adding. Off the glove of Lilly. He's going to throw in time. Nicely done.
It's so important for that pitcher to keep his wits about him on that comebacker. Ted Lilly was able to knock this ball down. Doesn't panic, just stays with it, get after the ball. Makes a nice off-balance throw back to D. Lee for the out. I think Ted Lilly is one of those pitchers that likes to play the game. He likes to field his position. You'll see him when a batter squares around a bunt, he comes charging off that mound. And I think he's enjoying this National League baseball.
Mark Burley. His teammates beat the Tampa Bay Devil Rays 6-1 tonight. So that's 2 in a row for the White Sox after they got swept by the Cubs over the weekend. John Garland even up his record at 5-5. National League final, Philadelphia 11, Cincinnati 4. How about this matchup later? Padres and the Giants. David Wells, Barry Zito. Both are under 500. Wells 3-5, Zito 6-8. Omar is now playing third for the Dodgers. They trail at Arizona 2-0 at the end of one. Seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? But remember, Nomar played a little third base at the end of his Cubs tenure. And Ramirez was hurt a couple of years ago at the end of that season. Driven deep to left field. And Jamie Carroll with a home run. Doesn't happen very often. He has 3 RBIs tonight. It's now 8-4. first home run in 118 at bats. Last one was against the Cubs. That's his 8th career home run.
Well, the pitch was elevated for him. It's a fence high fastball. Make good solid contact, especially on a night like this with the wind blowing straight out to center field, and Jamie Carroll has a good quick swing. Got enough to get it up in those bleachers and straightaway left.
And it's Buchholz batting. In his 1,401st at bat, Jamie Carroll with his 8th home run. Fontenot out to catch that flare hit by Buchholz. The Carroll home run closes a gap, but the Cubs still lead 8-4.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
What up, Pete?
Yo, I got an idea.
Don't worry about those guys.
I am just so sick of this.
Dude, what do you expect? You went with Geico.com. What, to save some money?
It's my life, okay?
Just a little loyalty would be nice, that's all.
What? Having Geico makes me less of a caveman?
Tina's here. We're getting back together. Hey, give us a minute.
Geico.com. So easy a caveman can do it.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Wednesday on WGN, Sweet Lou and the Cubs take it to the field against the Colorado Rockies. Wednesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Time to have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Our good friend Jimmy Farrell, the umpire room attendant, set to retire after the 2007 season. He's been doing this for a quarter century. The nicest human being ever.
Especially given the fact he has to work with umpires every day.
Always has a smile on his face.
Oh, yeah, really enjoys his job. He does a tremendous job here at the ballpark. Everybody's best friend.
We see his better half, Eleanor, after every ball game. She's always waiting for Jimmy. 8-4 the Cubs lead as they bat in the 6th inning. Fontenot, Lee, and Ramirez. Average up to 400. Michael Wirtz is up in the Cubs pen. Well, at this point, Bob, at least it's scheduled to be this way. Tomorrow, a record 7 starting pitchers age 40 or older scheduled to start. That's the most ever on the same day. Can you name them?
Well, David Wells.
David Wells is tonight.
Oh, tonight.
So
I'm
he's
sorry,
not
I'm
pitching
sorry.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow. 7 40-plus guys. There aren't that many, I don't think. Just name the rest. You probably got it. I'll give you one. Clemens is one.
Maddox.
Yes.
Glavine.
Yes. Your former teammate who's still with the Braves. Running catch by Holiday.
John Smoltz.
Yep. Former Cub with the Phillies. Left-hander.
Oh, John Lieber.
Left-hander.
Jamie Moyer. The other old guy.
Another lefty with the Tigers. Just came off the DL.
Kenny Rogers.
And one more. He's with the Astros. I think very recently turned 40. We just saw him pitch last week. And his initials are WW.
Oh, Woody Williams.
I don't think of him as a 40-year-old just yet. Yeah. Clemens, Moyer, Rogers, Maddox, Glavine, Williams, Smoltz. All slated to pitch.
AARP special tomorrow.
Clemens and Moyer are 44. Rogers 42. Maddox, Glavine 41. Williams and Smoltz 40. Past the third baseman Atkins, and Lee is on. Yeah, David Wells just could have waited one more day, right? Would have been 8.
And what can we gather from that? You know, guys keep themselves in much better physical condition now, I think, than in years past. I think also the shortened expectations on starting pitchers. Try to get through 5, 6, maybe 7 innings of effective baseball and turn the ball over to your bullpen. This specialization in that bullpen allows guys to pitch into their latter years. At 40, the latter years. Come on. Baseball years.
Another splintered bat. And a double play. 4-6-3. Derek did the right thing. He stopped. The Rockies still able to turn it. All Cubs to this point, 8-4.
James Earl Jones, a powerhouse performance in a powerful story. The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh-baked waffles. Do one. And now go to freezeclickwin.com for a chance to win $500 daily.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
So what are we in the mood for? I'll know it when I see it. Okay, well, I think I just did.
New 5-cheese tortelloni with shrimp, stuffed pastas with Italian cheeses and a garlic seafood sauce, or tortelloni with sausage starting at $9.95 at Olive Garden.
I'm the dude, you know, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski? Thursday at 8 Eastern.
Employed?
It's the funniest bloopers, blunders, and embarrassing moments, all caught on tape. America's funniest home videos. Weekdays at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Into the bullpen now. Ted Lilly with 6 innings. Came up short on the quality start stat because he gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings, but has a chance for the win. 114 pitches, 71 were strikes. And Michael Wirtz takes over. He'll face the top of the lineup.
Wirtz with an inning of work in the ball game last night in relief of Jason Marquis. Did walk a couple of batters, but nobody scored against the right-hander.
Taveras 1 out of 2 with a walk. And good friend Rick Sutcliffe will conduct the 7th inning stretch after the 3rd out is recorded. Don't forget to check out Cubs.com to pre-register in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition. A fan with the opportunity to lead the chorus in September. 0-2 pitch toward the gap. And it's going to get down on the warning track for Taveras. He's going to take a look at it and stop at second base. That'll bring up Tulowitzki. I think we've seen a couple of examples, Bob. The score has been the biggest part of it, but extra base hits to left where guys with pretty good speed have not decided to test Alfonso Soriano, especially after Tulowitzki was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double.
I mean, even that play, Len, it was really no big deal. Taveras was slowing down at second base, but Soriano got to the ball quickly, and his throw back to the infield was chest high to the cutoff man. If Taveras had decided to try to go to third base, Fondo had a perfect ball to handle from Soriano. I mean, this can't be overstated. This is one of the fundamentals of the game. You've got a cutoff man there for a reason. Give him the ball where he can handle it, so if there is a play back behind the cutoff man, he's able to make the throw and potentially get that base runner. Chest high throw to Fondo.
Swung on and missed. Strike three.
Like a slider from Michael Wirtz. Ball going straight down. That ball breaks like a split-fingered fastball. When he gets on top of that slider, it goes straight down. You know who really enjoys good throws to the cutoff man?
Who's that?
Evan Surma. He's celebrating his 11th birthday today, and I'm sure all he was asking for was a perfect throw to the cutoff man. Evan is the son of Jenny Surma, our human resources director here with the Cubs. Evan, a huge Cubs fan. Happy 11th birthday, Evan.
Happy birthday, Evan. He'll out to talk with Wirtz. Some numbers for you here. They're pretty graphic. Cubs 6 for 13 with runners in scoring position. The Rockies just 1 for 7. They had a big night in that department last night. Swing and a miss by Holiday. Went after the slider. Jeremy Affeldt. Couldn't hold up.
Bat gets out there in front of home plate. Nice block by Coyhill to keep the ball right there. Keep Taveras from advancing on to third base. Will Oman beginning to crank it up down that left field bullpen.
See if he throws him another slider. He did. Got him to miss that one too. Consecutive strikeouts. Todd Helton with 2 gone.
Just a devastating pitch. Very tight rotation. That's one thing. It's very tough for the hitter to pick up the rotation on that pitch, and you see a lot of swings and misses on those sliders when Michael could keep him down around the knees.
Right in there on a fastball. And a pretty good one from Michael Wirtz. We've seen him use that pitch more. A couple of years ago, it was a great percentage of sliders. He's got a good fastball.
Slider mania. Like our buddy Larry Anderson. That's all he threw when he came into ball game. One after another. He could spot him on both sides of the plate, but that was his go-to pitch.
I think it was an outing in Houston 2 years ago. Michael Wirtz threw 15 pitches, and they were all sliders. Every one of them. Rick Sutcliffe in the booth. He said a lot of those hitters keep chasing him. He's right. There's another one. He loves talking pitching, doesn't he, Rick Sutcliffe? And he knows that the hitters will keep going after him and missing them. You keep throwing it. Pretty easy. He can hit it.
Pretty easy to figure out. Yeah.
It's going to be foul. Maybe what was the one pitch you didn't want Rick Sutcliffe to throw you as a hitter?
He used to roll that big old curveball up there. Big, slow 12-6 curveball. That big old wind up, the elbow flying, and just drop that 12-6 curveball in there. I could never wait long enough.
Out of the glove of Coy Hill. And called a wild pitch.
That one just gets away right there. That was the anti-slider. Just didn't take the break.
Taveras now 90 feet away. 2-2. Popped up on the right side. And it's caught by Derek Lee. Here comes Sutton.
Former Cubs great and 1984 Cy Young Award winner Rick Sutcliffe. Hey! Come on, get up. You know I need some help. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the park. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and I don't care if I ever get back rich. Root for the Cubs. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's we're out of the old ball game.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Just think about it. Get it?
Rick Sutcliffe with us, bottom 7. Can you hear us? Not hearing us? All right, we'll get your microphone figured out here. He's a broadcaster now. He's got to hear everything correctly. We can hear you. There's Jeremy Affeldt, a left-hander.
I just wish they'd have killed my mic during Take Me Out.
You were great. You were great tonight.
You got to talk.
Awesome tonight. You did a great job. It's Angel Pagan batting for Cliff Floyd. He fouls it off. One and 2 the count.
You know what makes Sut so good on that 7th inning is his pacing. It's just like when he pitched, you know. Gee, you have to kind of
The pacing was better?
Slow and easy. Let the fans keep up with you. So many people come up here and get in a big hurry to rip through, take me out to the ball game. But just like when you pitched, you know, at your own pace.
You know, the toughest part for me tonight, honestly, was I went on radio before I came on, and Ronnie Sano putting me in the Mike Ditka category.
Wow.
Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, your pace was great.
The pacing?
Yeah. No, I mean that Ditka did it as fast as you possibly could. You were here early.
I was here early.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
And you know I'll be here late.
Right. Early and late.
Is this not fun?
Oh, this is the best.
Bobby, how about this ball club right now?
Yeah, you've been on teams that get on a roll where you just feel like you can do no wrong. You come up with the big hit when you need the big hit. The guys come in out of the bullpen and get the big outs when you need the big outs. And for me, Sud, I don't know how much you've seen of the Cubs lately. The improved defense has been the difference maker.
Well, you know, Lou Piniella talked about that in spring training. I mean, that you know, that led to a lot of the 96 losses a year ago.
It takes so much pressure off the pitcher. When you know you've got 8 guys behind you that are going to be diving and jumping through flaming hoops to make the plays for you, you're a little more confident in throwing that ball down the middle.
Absolutely.
2-1 on Mark DeRosa.
I'll tell you what, I did get a text message from Kenny Chesney at the end of it.
He said, great job, didn't he?
Well, I was going to use him and give him credit for being my voice coach, but he asked me not to do that.
Down along the right field line, it's going to twist out of play. Hey, look who's next door. George Frazier involved in that deal, right?
That's my favorite guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, the only World Series ring I ever got, I owe George a lot of credit for that. You remember in '81 when the Dodgers won the World Series?
Yeah.
Remember George was with...
DeRosa swung and missed. He's going to end up at first base.
If you remember, Bobby, George was with the Yankees. Picked up 3 losses. Yes, he did.
He earned them.
Yes, he did.
Had 6 wins for the '84 Cubs in 37 appearances. That ball got by Iannetta, and a runner on with 1 out.
Bobby, I'm thinking you shut my mic off on purpose.
No, you know I wouldn't do that to you, Red.
Backhanded play. They get an out at second and an out at first. It's a double play. Rick Sutcliffe, you're the best. Always good to see you.
You guys are the best, man.
Thanks, Sut.
Thanks for having me, man.
Cubs still lead 8-4.
From the night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free
Then feel free to change back again. Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Cubs 8, Rockies 4. Angel Pagan, who pinch hit for Cliff Floyd, stays in and plays right. Michael Wirtz starting his second inning. Atkins, Spilborg, Zionetta. It is a rout in Milwaukee. The Brewers with 9 in the 6th. They were trailing 4-2. They now lead 11-4. Check swing bouncer foul near Mike Gallego, former infielder. Former Cub right-hander LaTroy Hawkins up for the Rockies. One ball, 2 strikes. Always great to have Rick Sutcliffe up here in the booth with us. Still a big-time fan favorite. And ended up going right through the bullpen, and Carlos Marmol, who was throwing, had to make the play. Hey, the new kid on the block, Billy Petrick.
Well, Billy.
Oh, man, Kangaroo Court's going to nail him.
Yeah, some of that big league meal money you just got today, well, don't spend it all.
He's from Morris, Illinois. He was born in Kankakee, grew up in Morris. And thrilled to be here. Pop fly, sending Pagan in. Calling for it with a right hand, makes a catch. Pledge your allegiance to the Cubs by becoming a founding member of the Cubs Club, the new official online fan club for the Chicago Cubs. Cubs Club members will receive benefits unavailable to other fans, including your very own 2007 membership card, MLB.com's game day audio for the 07 regular season, and much more. To join today, visit Cubs.com. Where baseball is always on. By the way, Billy Petrick is 6'6", 240. Deep center off the bat of Spilborg's going to stay in the park. PA with a catch.
Wind still blowing straight out here at Wrigley tonight. Spilborg's making a bid for extra bases. Goes to straight away center field. That's just a fastball outer part of the plate, but with Felix Pierre's speed, he has a beat on it right off the bat. Tracks it down on the warning track. Little Michael Jordan look there with the tongue hanging out as he makes the catch in center field.
Iannetta 0 for 3, swing and a miss. And Billy Petrick again grew up in Morris, about an hour southwest of Chicago, but he was a Cubs fan, so this is a huge thrill for him. Not in the ball game, but he's standing on the field right now behind the third base umpire. Ron Culpa got the call up from Double-A Tennessee. Was a terrific offensive lineman slash long snapper in high school. Was going to play football and baseball at Washington State before he signed with the Cubs after they grabbed him in the 3rd round in 2002. Called strike 3. Michael Wirtz with 2 scoreless innings, the 7th and the 8th. Bottom 8 coming up. The Cubs lead 8-4.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
My country, 'tis a the sweet land of liberty, of the ice see.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
24 primetime Emmys, including Outstanding Directing. Where's the target? And Outstanding Lead Actor Kiefer Sutherland. Put it down! 24 weekends, Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
James Earl Jones, a powerhouse performance in a powerful story. The Vernon John story.
Saturday at 3 Eastern.
Now our upcoming Cubs high-definition broadcast schedule sponsored by Comcast. Tomorrow, the season finale with the Rockies, 1 o'clock for the leadoff man. Friday, first of 3 with the NL Central leading. Milwaukee Brewers at 1 o'clock with the leadoff man. And ditto on Sunday, we'll have the finale as well. Leadoff man starts at 1. 2007 Cubs baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. Former Cub LaTroy Hawkins from Gary, Indiana. And will pitch the 8th for the Rockies, facing Felix P.A.
To the ERA of 3.86. It was considerably higher earlier this season, up to 8.59. He had some elbow inflammation, spent about a month on the DL. He's been really good since coming back from the injury.
Nice catch on the run by Atkins. That soft liner hauled in.
This little floater to the left side. You have to fight the temptation as the third baseman to jump too soon. That was actually a really nice play by Atkins, going straight back over his head. Troy Hawkins knows that's at least a double for Felix P.A. if it gets over the head of Garrett Atkins at third base.
Here's Darrell Ward pinch hitting. I want to make a note. Monday, July 16th, the Cubs will host Barry Bonds and the Giants here at Wrigley Field. The start time has been changed. It's been moved up 1 hour from 7:05 to 6:05. And the Cubs encourage fans to always visit Cubs.com for the latest news and game time updates. And if you can't be here at the park, we'll have that one for you on WCIU. That's July 16th. There's a base hit by Darrell Ward. Pinch single. He's on with 1 out.
Darrell Ward hitting .310 coming into play tonight. This is his 5th base hit off the bench as a pinch hitter this season. Slashes that ball into left field for a clean single.
Soriano got it going in the first inning again. His leadoff single, and he scored. We could debate the merits, and we have, about where Alfonso should bat in the Cubs lineup. But I find it interesting that most of the noise has been made as Atkins gets the out at second. Safe at first. Soriano beat it. It seems like Lou's been asked a lot lately about whether Soriano should move down in the order. But it's because Soriano's been so good lately. And Cubs found out last night a 5-run lead in the 9th was not safe. Well, to me, the biggest change for Alfonso Soriano has nothing to do with where he is batted in the lineup. It's that he moved from center field to left. His manager made that decision when he had the hamstring injury. He's been in left since. His offense has been better. And he's been a Gold Glover in left field. He's been very, very accommodating regarding where he bats and where he plays.
I think that speaks to the respect that Alfonso Soriano has for Lou Piniella. He knows that Lou is just trying to do what's best for the ball club, figure out how it all fits together in a cohesive way.
To third, it's surrounded by Atkins. Throwing on the move, Fontenot's out. And we'll head to the 9th inning. The Cubs with an 8-4 lead. Don't rock the boat. We'll be back.
On the next Scrubs.
So how's your rage going?
Better. Advice is like medicine. Easy to give.
Always keep an eye out for Johnny the tackling Alzheimer's patient.
And hard to take. Next Scrubs. Tonight at 11:30 Eastern.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it? Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh baked waffles. Do one. And now go to freezeclickwin.com for a chance to win $500 daily.
Golfbot.com is going to change history.
It's going to be big.
Bigger than the Big Mac.
They say it's going to be bigger than the Big Mac. Yeah, they're geniuses.
I heard it's supposed to be bigger than a Big Mac.
We should get in on that.
Bigger than the Big Mac.
It better be with all this hype.
Come on. Bigger than a Big Mac. At least, I mean, if not bigger.
Right, there we go.
Ooh. Not quite as big as the Big Mac, huh?
With 100% beef, nothing tops the Big Mac.
Back with the Hughes Corporation and rock the boat. Ryan Dempster's on the disabled list. We've seen Bob Howery in the 9th inning, and tonight it's Carlos Marmol, not technically a save spot because his team is up 4 runs as he begins the final inning. He has closer stuff and has been terrific. Howery sitting in the bullpen, but won't be used. Was encouraged to not even go out there by his manager because Lou didn't want to be tempted.
A good situation for Carlos Marmol right here. 4-run lead, as you mentioned, not technically a save situation, but still called upon to come in and get the last 3 outs of the ball game. Good way to kind of ease him into that 9th inning role, should that be where Marmol ends up when all is said and done.
Well, it's just the way baseball works, but Bob Howery got the victory last night. He blew the save. He gave up 3 runs in 1 inning, but he got the win because he was the last Cubs pitcher. Cubs won it in their final at bat. Prior to that, saves on consecutive days to end that series on the south side. So for the next couple of weeks, the Cubs will have to make up for the loss of Ryan Dempster. The 3-2 pitch. Carroll fouled it off his foot. He's had a big night. Robbed of a hit by DeRosa in the second, a 2-run double in the fourth, a solo home run in the sixth.
I remember Jamie Carroll having some big games when he was a member of the Nationals, and before that the Montreal Expos against the Cubs.
Right center, and another hit. He has 8 total bases in his last 3 at-bats, 2 doubles and a home run. All right, I'm going to tell you something right now. You hope Marmol goes 1, 2, 3 after that double, but if he gives up a couple of base runners, we had a shot of Bob Howery in the bullpen. And Lou already, you get the impression that he might not be able to help himself. Now, if he tells Larry Rothschild get on the phone and see if Howery's ready, Larry will say no, right?
Well, he may say it once.
Corey Sullivan, a pinch hitter. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, we've seen this on about 4 different occasions in this ball game when Coy Hill has gone out to the mound after his pitcher has lost the strike zone for a couple of pitches or given up a big base hit. Really settle the guy back down, get him back into a positive frame of mind, and go right back to attacking that hitter at the plate.
Two and 0. They don't want to use Howery. Scott Air was extended. Billy Petrick would be making his big league debut. It's going to be Will Ullman if the Cubs need another pitcher here in the 9th inning. And that's what Lou said before the game. Marmol and Ullman, the 2 guys he would use in this spot. 3-1. The pitch. That one will get in there. And here comes Jamie Carroll, and it's 8-5.
Just a little fist job on a fastball in on the hands over the head of Mike Fontenot into shallow left center field. I believe we're going to see Will Ullman get going just in case we get down as far as Todd Helton's spot in the lineup.
Looks like Petrick's going to grab a baseball as well. Is it just him? Boy, how about this? Got the call up from Double-A. Ullman's going to join Petrick.
Petrick's ready to throw and doesn't have a catcher yet. Now he's ready to go. Ullman was up in the last inning, so it shouldn't take him long at all to get ready. And Petrick, I got to believe the way his heart is beating right now, it won't take him long to get ready either.
By the way, it is pronounced Petrick. I asked him today. You would think maybe Petrick, but it is Petrick, just like it's spelled. P-E-T-R-I-C-K.
The Rockies used to have a catcher, Ben Petrick. He pronounced his spelled the same way, but
good call. This is going to be trouble. We'll make the throw, but it's not even close. Boy, this is starting to look all too familiar. 3 consecutive hits to start the 9th inning. I'm just blown away by Willie Taveras. And we last year watched one of the great bunters in Major League history in Juan Pierre. But the Cubs know that he's going to do this, and he's done it twice tonight, and they can't stop him.
I mean, that is just about as perfect as you can lay that ball out there. The only play is for Coy Hill, and by the time he gets to it, spins around and throws. Taveras has passed the bag at first base.
And this is the guy, Tulowitzki, who hit the go-ahead 3-run homer last night. And it all happened with no outs. A 3-run lead starting to feel very tenuous. The pitch by Marmol. Slider, strike. And it gets no easier after this guy. That's why you want a double play ball. You've got Holiday on deck, Hilton after him.
Boy, Tulowitzki had a real good swing at that last pitch. You may recall the home run he hit in the ballgame last night was a fastball about knee-high, out over the plate, almost to the outside corner. Ooh. Tough pitch to take right there. Hard slider on the outside part of the plate. Just falls off the corner at the last instant in the estimation of Dale Scott.
2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. An enormous first out.
Third strikeout of the ball game for Tulowitzki, giving him 62 on the season. He's a free swinger, no question about it. That time just absolutely frozen by that slider in the strike zone.
You don't want to think too far ahead, but if we get to Helton, Will Oman might be the guy to try to close it out. This will be out of play down the right field line. Don't underestimate the loss of Ryan Dempster. He had been very, very good, especially lately in the 9th inning. Howry unavailable tonight, so 2 veterans who are used to getting the final 3 outs not available tonight. And Marmol trying to get through this inning. 2 strikes on Holiday. Cubs bullpen trying to pull together now with their closer out. Fouled off. I don't know if Carlos was tentative when this inning started, but he's not tentative right now. He's going right after him. Another 0-2. 1-2.
It did look like when the inning started, he was nibbling a little bit, trying to paint that outside corner rather than just let it go. Trust your arm, trust your stuff.
Quick shake-off by Marmol, and Hill decided to come out, make sure they're on the right page. Dangerous hitter at the plate, Matt Holliday. A 1-2, struck him out. Well, the decision is, do you go with the lefty or do you stick with Marmol, who has struck out the last 2?
Todd Helton 0 for 2 lifetime against Carlos Marmol, 0 for 4 against Will Oman. Well, just an electric fastball just off of the outside corner there, but too close for Holliday to take.
A little bit of a pause halfway up the steps by Lou Piniella. And he's going to match up. He's going to ask Will Oman to get Todd Helton to win this ballgame.
Very defensive swing from the leading hitter in the National League, and the fans love it.
So it will be lefty versus lefty. As Marmol gets a good hand. 8-5 Cubs. Don't go anywhere.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Tying run at the plate. Todd Helton. Will Oman trying to pick up what would be his first major league save. Here's a pitch. Right down the middle on a heater. When they've matched up, Helton 0 for 4 with a walk, hit by a pitch, 2 strikeouts. They've matched up several times. Lefties don't really bother Helton. And 337 this year. You take away a little bit of his power. The 0-1. Popped up by Helton on the left side. Fontenot the catch, and Will Oman gets it done. 2 pitches to get Helton, and they close out the Rockies. And the Chicago Cubs have tied their longest winning streak of the year. 5 consecutive wins. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow. And Bob, Lou went with the matchups. It worked out in the ninth.
Yeah, Lou said he's all about the numbers. He will play his hunches on occasion, but when given a choice, he'll rather go with the stats. The stats said Will Oman, and Will Oman came through.
Offense has been terrific in this series. Ted Lilly gets the win tonight. Will Oman with his first major league save, and the Cubs all of a sudden are within 2 of 500. It's 8-5 your final. We'll be back.
Sudden downpours next on WGN. Chicago gets swamped. Rain wreaks havoc on this afternoon. A wrestler's family killed. Police say he did it. The bizarre scene inside Chris Benoit's house. And in her first hours of freedom, what Paris Hilton did after getting out of jail.
Caution, professional toolman at work. He's fully trained to handle dangerous situations. Like 3 kids, 1 wife, and now. Remember, don't try this at home. Home Improvement, weekdays.
Weekdays at 5:30 on Superstation WGN.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. Tom. You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting. Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad. Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
From the night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up.
Yeah, Mo, who do you want?
Oh, look, time for cake. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager. All for one and one for all. All for one, my butt. I'm out.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
For the Chicago Cubs, 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, 6 men left. For the Rockies, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 8 men stranded. Ted Lilly gets the win. He improves to 6-4. First loss of the year for Rodrigo Lopez. He's 4-1. The first major league save for Will Oman. Took 2 hours 56 minutes to complete it. 40,121 watched it. Now tonight's Budweiser play of the game. The Cubs scored early and often. 2-run homer by Cliff Floyd made it 3-0.
Cliff Floyd scared the Rockies right off of him for the remainder of the ballgame. Walked intentionally in the 3rd inning, walked unintentionally in the 5th. Came around to score in the 5th inning as well.
Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. We'll wrap it up after this.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Our next broadcast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station. Tomorrow afternoon from right here in the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, the Cubs go for their 2nd consecutive sweep against the Rockies. Jason Hirsch for Colorado. It'll be Carlos Zambrano, 3-1 with a 114 his last 4 starts. 1 o'clock Central Time will hit the air. It's our 60th year of bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Baseball like it ought to be. BB, Cubs haven't been this close to 500 in over a month, so win tomorrow and they'll have a chance to get back to 500 this weekend.
And I don't know if you noticed, Len, I got my hair trimmed a little bit today in anticipation of a possible no-hitter by Carlos tomorrow when we'll shave it all off.
Sounds good to me. We'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock sharp for the leadoff man. The WGN News is next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Bud.TV, where entertainment is always on and only on www.bud.tv. Comcast, catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888 for Best TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
Why does that bother you?
Why does it bother me? So easy a caveman can do it?
Well, it's just a commercial.
Okay. Well, what if it said, Geico.com, so easy a therapist can do it?
Well, that commercial wouldn't make sense to me.
Why not?
Well, therapists are...
Are what? Smart? My mother's calling. I'll put it on speaker.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
This is my case.
I didn't kill anybody.
Bang, bang, bang. You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN. 24, Saturdays at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
This is Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
Wild weather giving Chicago a summer soaking, torrential rain causing flooding in streets and basements, and tonight many are left bailing out. Good evening, I'm Micah Mater. Allison Payne is off tonight.
And I'm Steve Sanders. Our top story, the flooding. WGN's Juan Carlos Van Hool was ankle deep in the deluge. JC, we hope things are drying out now.
Well, much drier. Here are the viaduct at Irving Park and Ravenswood, free-flowing, open tonight. But earlier this evening, it was a case of too much rain in too little time. What started as an afternoon thunderstorm quickly escalated into a flood of trouble. Chicago's north side hardest hit. Over 4 inches of rain an hour caused this. Viaducts up and down Ravenswood filled to the brim. Vehicles stuck all over the place.
It's crazy out here. It's like a monsoon.
You can bet there were some soggy letters in here. Angry riders somewhere waiting for this waterlogged CTA bus. And kids elsewhere not getting home after a school bus driver decided to gun it through the flooded Ravenswood and Bertaux viaduct, only to come to a screeching halt with spectators egging him on. And here at Ravenswood and Sunnyside, people are actually using the sidewalk to avoid the flooded out viaduct. Elsewhere, the Michigan Avenue ramp to Lakeshore Drive shut down and impassable. A cabbie among the drivers who also try to make it across Montrose at the drive. And neighbors helping neighbors get out of trouble. Maria Ruiz's car was a total loss. And then it filled up real quickly inside?
Yes. It started floating like a toy car.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see when you got 3 feet of water, don't drive through it.
Tow truck driver Carl Richmond was having a field day at Irving Park. The road shut down because of more flooding. The only people getting around here, these folks who try to snake their way around the viaduct and the high water. And as far as the viaducts flooding out, well, the water department tells me there's not much they can do. They say it's just a question of too much rain and the sewer system being overwhelmed. Now, if you still have flooding in your area tomorrow morning, give 311 a call. Live here at Irving Park in Ravenswood, Juan Carlos Van Hool, WGN News.
Thanks, Juan Carlos. The water seeped into many homes and businesses on the city's north side, and WGN's Julie Unruh has that part of the story. Julie?
Micah, for so many people, the flooding has indeed subsided, but the storm that popped up over Chicago left plenty of people, homeowners and business owners alike, mopping, pumping, and in some cases, weeping. Trish Galvez-Toole turned 45 today, and all she can do is cry. In a matter of minutes, she said, her north side home filled with sewer water, mostly her basement and her backyard. Everything else is simply soaked.
Last time it was $200,000 worth of damage. This time it's worse. It was 6 feet. Last time it was 4.5 feet.
I woke up floating on the couch and I didn't have a chance to save anything.
You literally could not see the streets at all. All of our houses were at least one step up flooded.
when the cars were going by, it's like a little mini waterfalls when they were just going by.
Not far away, neighbors say lightning struck this home.
All you see is the smoke after the lightning, and all the firefighters come and gather up.
The heavy rains were not enough to extinguish the blaze, so teams of firefighters jumped into action. No one inside was hurt. Meanwhile, some local businesses had to shut their doors due to the flooding, like this Clark Street t-shirt shop and the Whole Tooth, a Northside dentist office. They canceled all their afternoon appointments.
From the ceiling, from the floors, everything has been completely flooded out.
As for Trish Galvis Toole, the road to recovery is going to be a long and financially painful one.
This is like I said, the third time it's happened like this, and each time it's gotten worse. Each time the water has gotten higher, and each time, you know, it's been worse.
Water in your home an hour after the streets have drained, you should then call 311 for help. Live electrical wires and sewer water can present very dangerous conditions under these circumstances. We're told water department crews will be working through the night. Steve?
Thank you. Power's still out for more than 2,500 ComEd customers in Chicago, but some places didn't even see the storm and not even a drop of rain. Let's check in now with WGN Chief Meteorologist Tom Skilling in the Weather Center. Tom, we haven't seen the end of this, have we?
No, we haven't, Steve. This could fire again tomorrow, but you are so right. Less than 30% of the Chicago metro area got in on the rain, and the bullet right here, that yellow area, is where the rain hit the hardest. Frank Wachowski at Midway Airport tells us while more than 4 inches came down there, and here are some of the totals across the area, 3.5 inches across from Wrigley Field. Cold City, showing it wasn't just limited to the city of Chicago itself, 2.12 inches southwest of the area. Frank Wachowski at Midway tells us he got 8 drops of rain down there, and only 1,900 at O'Hare Field, while at Mount Prospect there was no rain at all. Well, it's quieter right now, but Steve, you're right. We have a humid atmosphere that may re-erupt tomorrow. In fact, is likely to in parts of the area. We'll tell you more about that and look at a big change to cooler weather, but heat for the 4th of July. All that coming up and more on today's big storms.
Thanks, Tom. We'll see you shortly. Jurors in Chicago's biggest organized crime trial in years got an eye and an ear full today. Prosecutors played video from a hidden camera allegedly showing reputed mobster Frank the German Schweiss shaking down a Wells Street business. What he did not know is that the business owner was funneling information to the FBI. 5 alleged mobsters are on trial. They're charged with 18 murders plus extortion, loan sharking, and illegal gambling over 4 decades. In the audio portion of the recording released by federal prosecutors today, Schweiss talks about picking up protection money from the business owner.
In other words, he didn't come here in September and pick up no money.
No.
And he didn't come here the first of this month and pick up no money.
Right.
So when I'm getting off you now, cleans you up for the month of September and the month of October. You are not due now until November.
Jurors also saw Schweiss bragging about how violent the Chicago mob is, claiming that even New York mobsters won't mess with the Chicago outfit. That recording has not yet been released.
It will be at least a month before an Oswego man accused of murdering his family returns to Illinois. This morning, a judge set a July 25th extradition hearing for Christopher Vaughn. Authorities are trying to move him back to Will County, where Vaughn's wife and 3 children were found murdered in their SUV earlier this month. Officials say the hearing was pushed back to give defense attorneys time to file a written challenge to that extradition. Vaughn will remain in custody in Missouri, where he was arrested last weekend at his family's funeral.
Police say a professional wrestler with a wholesale family image strangled his wife and son. We'll have more on that later on.
Nobody expects to bury their children. No parent expects to do that. I know I didn't.
A mother's anguish as she copes with the loss of her child in a neighborhood fed up with gangs killing kids.
How's your rage going?
Better. Advice is like medicine, easy to give. Keep an eye out for Johnny the Tackling Alzheimer's patient. And hard to take. Who am I? Next Scrubs, coming up next. Wednesday on WGN, Sweet Lou and the Cubs take it to the field against the Colorado Rockies. The Cubs and Rockies roll on at Wrigley. Wednesday at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
have astigmatism, so sometimes my contact lenses go blurry.
What did that feel like?
The true scary moments have been when I was driving with my daughter. I'm just having trouble focusing. I realized how big of a problem it really was.
Monique's doctor upgraded her to AccuView Advanced for astigmatism. Eye doctors know it beats the blur. It's the only contact lens designed to realign naturally every time you blink for crisp, clear vision. And only AccuView has HydroClear, so they're really comfortable.
Now I feel better about being a mom. One less worry.
For a free trial pair certificate, go to AccuView.com.
Special Agent, we have your next mission.
Thanks, boss, but my car's pretty dead right now.
When can you get back on the road?
Hey, I'll show you. When Esurance policyholders get their cars repaired at one of Esurance's certified body shops, they can monitor repairs online 24/7.
It's like watching your car come back to life.
I'll be back on the road in no time.
Make it your mission to save on hassle-free auto insurance. Visit Esurance.com today.
Nursing home abuse and neglect often goes unreported. If you suspect a loved one is the victim of nursing home abuse or neglect, please call the number on your screen now. Broken bones, bed sores, and dehydration may be signs of nursing home abuse and neglect. Death, physical and sexual assault, and financial misuse can occur. If you suspect nursing home abuse or neglect, don't delay. Call 1-800-336-4984. That's 1-800-336-4984.
You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News at 9.
A vigil tonight for an innocent victim of gang violence. A 13-year-old girl killed by a bullet meant for someone else. Her death leading to yet another call for a crackdown on guns and gangs. WGN's Tom Negaman has that story.
We call an end to the violence, to the shootings and to the killings.
A call joined by scores of neighbors who've come to this Northwest Side play lot to mark the spot where a young life was cut tragically short.
It's very hard to see this happen. She's just a good person, and I just don't understand why her.
13-year-old Shauna Gaden, an honor student at Ames Elementary, shot once in the head last night, caught in the crossfire of rival gangs. Police have a 19-year-old in custody. No consolation at all to Shauna's parents.
This is a tragedy, you know. I won't wish on nobody, family.
My God, the pain is terrible, and I don't know how I'm going to survive it. She should not have died.
It's the pain Rita Sally's been trying to survive since the second she got the news.
The hospital did as much as they could do to save my baby. But the bullet did too much damage to her.
One thing she has is support of neighbors who march, of police who hold roll calls at the crime scene, and of Mayor Daley.
She was with her grandmother in a park, sitting there. A 19-year-old punk jumps out of the car with guns and starts firing. That 19-year-old, the police arrested him. We lost a young girl, went to Ames School, basketball team, honor society, wonderful family, gunned down by a punk.
Mayor Daley on the same page as mourners here tonight, calling for an end to the way of the gun on many of Chicago's streets and for parents to work harder to keep their kids out of gangs. In Logan Square, Tom Negavan, WGN News.
New details tonight about the deaths of pro wrestler Chris Benoit, his wife, and their young son. Officials say it was murder-suicide. They say Benoit strangled his wife, suffocated their 7-year-old boy, and placed a Bible next to their bodies before hanging himself from a weightlifting machine. All this happened in the family's home in suburban Atlanta. Investigators say they found anabolic steroids in the house, which can cause paranoia, depression, and explosive outbursts.
Paris Hilton is out of jail and back in the business of being a celebrity. Hilton was released from jail shortly after midnight. All that was missing was the red carpet. She ignored shouted questions as she walked past crowds of reporters and photographers and into a waiting SUV where she hugged her mother. The only clues to how Paris spent her day? A pink cake with the words "Welcome Home" was let past the gates, along with a hairdresser, a makeup artist, and a stylist. She'll be back in the spotlight tomorrow night when she appears on Larry King Live.
All across Chicagoland, folks are cleaning up from flooding in homes, businesses, and even right here at WGN. Tom Skilling tells us if there will be a round 2.
And a foie gras eaters beware, the geese may be the last laugh.
If we all lived here,
we wouldn't have to worry about what's in our water. But most of us live here. So we need the Brita pitcher. Its filter removes 98% of lead and reduces chlorine flavor and copper. So even if you don't live here, you can still have healthier, clean-tasting water.
Now get great-tasting water from your refrigerator with refrigerator filters from Brita.
If you suffer from allergies, more effective relief is on the way. Benadryl, proven more effective than the leading allergy medicine at relieving your worst allergy symptoms. Get Benadryl, proven more effective. Worried about cavities? This time you could be in and out of the dentist fast. Introducing new Listerine Tooth Defense. It helps rebuild enamel so teeth are more resistant to cavities. New Listerine Tooth Defense. Rinse your teeth stronger.
Saving the world from evil is hard. Fortunately, saving time and money on auto insurance can be easy. Both by print, instantly at Esurance. Take a fresh look at your auto insurance.
Visit Esurance.com today.
Mosquitoes? Don't soak yourself with a sticky wet repellent. Stay dry with new Off Smooth and Dry. Its unique cornstarch formula dries on contact, so it's comfortable on your skin, unlike ordinary repellents. Feel the difference.
Wow.
With new Off Family Care Smooth and Dry. Feels good on, keeps bugs off. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
Charlie, Henry, wake up. What's wrong? You're wasting your time sleeping when you could be texting.
Left hand on top, right hand, sending a picture message. Texting!
Dad.
Text IM, Pix, and Flicks as much as you want to anyone on any network in the U.S. when you switch to the new Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan. And now buy a navigation-ready LG and get the second free. Verizon Wireless.
This summer, get the sunblock that also blocks the bite. Bullfrog Mosquito Coast Sunblock and Repellent. Up to 8-hour protection against harmful rays and pesky bites without the odor. Bullfrog Mosquito Coast. Block the burn and the bite.
American Idol Rewind. Saturdays at Superstation WGN.
Well, today's thunderstorms flooded roads, stores, and even television studios. Here at WGN, the rush of water exploded into our storage garage. After a couple hours, the flooding was contained, but the water was still being pumped out well into the evening. Well, Tom Skilling joining us now to find out if we're expecting another round of these powerful storms, huh, Tom?
Well, Micah, not tonight, but, you know, some of that water got into the weather office, too. Here was the boiling atmosphere. You can see the vertical motions in play here, and there's some lightning flashing. Look at the rain that poured out of there in a giant shaft. It rained as heavily in these storms as it does in a hurricane or tropical storm. We had about 4 inches coming down an hour, wound up with over 3 inches at our north side weatherbug rain gauges in the Lakeview area. And yet, as you widen out the view, you can see some areas didn't get any rain at all, even though it was heavy down around Morris and Pontiac, 0.04 of an inch at DeKalb, none at Mount Prospect, and just 8 drops at Midway Airport as the north side was getting hammered and Lakeshore Drive was closing down. And there were gusts of 48 miles an hour. A stark contrast to what's going on now with winds calm. And look at some of these rain totals from our rain gauges, including right across the street from Wrigley Field, 3.46 inches. At Yon Elementary School, 323, and Lane Tech right here in our neighborhood, 3.02. This hour, it's still muggy, dew point 69. There's the 346 at the Cubby Bear, and here's our LaSalle Street camera, weatherbug camera. Look at the storms developing across the area. Really quite a day. You know what happened today was thunderstorms blew up about the time we hit 92 degrees. It was the second hottest day of the year, and the combination with humidity and those temperatures led to a heat index of 96 and the explosive buoyant air mass that started producing the thunderstorms. You can see these things kind of erupt right here, and one little cluster developed on the Lake Michigan shoreline and gushed some cooler air inland that hit the southwest wind coming in off the land. This piled the air up over the northern end of Chicago and led to what we call low-level convergence. Then it upwelled into upper winds that were under 10 miles an hour because the jet stream is way up here, so these storms had nothing to push them along, and the result was you got these little tiny clusters which really got hammered. while other areas just kind of watch the action in the distance. There it is for you North Siders. That's the little bullet right there. And it really came down. It was estimated that there may have been 5 inches of rain near the merge of the Edens and the Kennedy Expressway by Weather Service Doppler radar. And here are the flood watches as rains keep pouring down on Oklahoma, where the high was only 76 today, while we hit 92, that should be. Well, here's why we're not out of the woods. This flow comes up from the Gulf, and there's a front that's still west of us until the early evening hours tomorrow. Then a sprawling Canadian high will come in the rest of the week. But this means this atmosphere will heat up in the mixed sunshine we see tomorrow. Temperatures will be well into the 80s before the storms hit, and then the northeast winds come in the rest of the week. But with all this moisture in the air, there's 1.5 inches of it, and with the jet stream starting to sag a little farther south, we could organize these thunderstorms a bit tomorrow afternoon and produce some more heavy downpours. It'll probably be a whole set of different areas that get hit, but you never know with these storms. And as far as our forecast for the next 7 days, we're watching a big dome of heat developing to the west. Now, we'll have lovely cool weather the later part of the week coming in here, but there are indications we could grow hot and sticky as we head toward the 4th next week. There are tomorrow afternoon and evening storms. Then the winds turn northeast, and while we'll start cloudy the day after on Thursday, we get into mostly sunny skies Thursday, Friday, though our RPM model says don't write off additional rain yet. We get some pretty good amounts of rain indicated right there. And have you heard about the deadly heat wave going down here in southern Europe? This is southern Italy, Sicily at 102. Greece in that area was 115 degrees today at Athens, Greece. Can you imagine that? Those folks have been baking all week. There have been scores killed by the heat over in that area of southeastern Europe. So another big heat wave there, and maybe some heat on the way here next week. Well, here's our Chicago forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, hazy. There might be an isolated thunderstorm. We've got one or two on the radar still northwest of us, but most of the action's over. Low 70, 75. Tomorrow we'll heat to 86 and blow up some thunderstorms, first in the late morning and then more numerous in the afternoon and evening, when 60 to 70% of the area could get in on downpours or thunderstorms. And some of those could be strong. Stays cloudy tomorrow night and early Thursday, but then turns sunny Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and even most of Sunday. And then we start getting warm again, back to 90s by Tuesday next week.
Summer. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, guys.
You know, after all, Chicago's haggling over foie gras in the city council, there may be a health reason to stay away from it. Livers of ducks and geese contain abnormal proteins which develop into protein clumps in mice. Now, those are linked to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and rheumatoid arthritis. There's no direct evidence that people are in danger, but researchers suggest some people should avoid foie gras. After last night's wild finish, the Cubs almost finish Jacques Jones' run in a Cubs uniform. Find out why he's still calling Wrigley home.
And the White Sox looking to win 2 games in a row for the first time in over a month. Sports coming up after tonight's lottery drawing.
Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
Not on the abdomen, Cameron. Hi.
This is Matthews. I'm Steve, your Progressive Claims rep.
Oh, right.
I inspected the damage on your car, and you're all set.
Oh, thanks so much for coming by. My insurance agent recommended Progressive because you do this kind of stuff for free. I have 4 boys, so the smallest errand is just...
No problem.
Yeah, okay, thanks so much. Bye. Who wants to be quiet?
With Progressive, saving hundreds is just the beginning. Contact a local independent agent to switch today.
Live from WGN TV Chicago, the official drawing of the Illinois Lottery.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Colmeyer with your winning lottery numbers for Tuesday, June 26, 2007. Wish you the very best of luck. Let's go with the first game. It's pick 3. The first lucky number for tonight is 7, followed by the second number, which is 3. And your third and final pick 3, 5. That makes the winning pick 3 numbers for tonight, 7, 3, 5. Time for the pick 4 game. Everybody is blessed with special talents and gifts. Be sure to share yours, especially on a stormy day. And watch how that good karma multiplies. Back to pick 4. First lucky number is 6. The second number, 0. Your third lucky number, 0. And the fourth and final pick 4, 0. That makes the winning pick 4 numbers for tonight, 6, 0, 0, 0. Its little out of time, and the jackpot is $100,000. Good luck. Here we go. The first winning little lotto number for tonight is 1. The second, 21. Your third, 30, followed by the fourth, 17, and the fifth and final little lotto number, 34. That makes the winning little lotto numbers for tonight 1, 21, 30, 17, and 34. Hope those were your lucky numbers. I'm Linda Comer. Good luck and good night.
Tonight's lottery drawing was brought to you by WGN TV and supervised by the accounting firm of Clifton Gunderson.
My favorite product is this cool little advanced solutions that makes my skin look noticeably younger.
Neutrogena Advanced Solutions at-home microdermabrasion system. A dermatologist-conducted study showed 100% of women showed fewer fine lines, 79% showed reduced deep wrinkles, 76% showed diminished age spots.
And it gets better every time I use it.
Advanced Solutions microdermabrasion system. For a $5 rebate offer, visit Neutrogena.com.
An urgent message from the Balkan and Icebrook Avandia hotline. You may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today.
A recent study reports the popular diabetes drug Avandia increases risk of heart attack by 43% and increases risk of death due to cardiovascular causes. If you or a loved one has suffered a heart attack or stroke while taking Avandia, you may be entitled to a large cash award. Call 1-800-RESULTS today.
If you've been injured by this drug, call 1-800-RESULTS. You don't have to suffer. You just have to call.
There's a new reason to celebrate your home. Ace Hardware is opening new stores nationwide, so we're celebrating with a national grand opening sale in your neighborhood with great deals and helpful advice.
Buy a Weber Smoky Joe grill for just $39.99 and get a $20 rebate. Ace Royal Paint. Buy 2 gallons and get the price of 1 gallon back by rebate. Plus 20 great items are eligible for a full retail cost rebate. Use your Ace Rewards card for double points at the grand opening sale this Friday and Saturday only.
Ace.
The helpful place.
Mosquitoes? Don't soak yourself with a sticky wet repellent. Stay dry with new Off Smooth and Dry. Its unique cornstarch formula dries on contact, so it's comfortable on your skin, unlike ordinary repellents. Feel the difference.
Wow.
With new Off Family Care Smooth and Dry. Feels good on, keeps bugs off. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinet. Chinet, life is served.
Special Agent, we have your next mission.
Thanks, boss, but my car's pretty dead right now.
When can you get back on the road?
Hey, I'll show you. When Esurance policyholders get their cars repaired at one of Esurance's certified body shops, they can monitor repairs online 24/7.
It's like watching your car come back to life.
I'll be back on the road in no time.
Make it your mission to save on hassle-free auto insurance. Visit Esurance.com today.
Welcome back. Jock Jones stays in a Cubs uniform, but question is for how long?
Kind of a strange night for the Cubs. For a while tonight, it appeared Jock Jones was a former Cub. Several reports had Jones going to the Marlins, but by the end of the night, Jim Hendry said he was not happy with the trade, so he killed it. So Jones still in a Cub uniform for now. Meantime, the Cubs going for their 5th in a row against Colorado tonight. The field in good shape after the heavy downpours earlier. And the Cubs also in good shape. How about 3 runs in the very first inning? 2 coming in this home run by Cliff Floyd. The Cubs bats again alive. They built up an 8-5 lead just like last night, though the Rockies rallied the 9th. A tying run at the plate, but Will Oman gets Todd Helton the pop-up, and the Cubs win again. The final was 8-5. The Cubs' winning streak now matches their longest of the year at 5. And Taylor gets to win. Oman is his first career save. The Cubs now just 2 games under 500. White Sox once again are Lou Pinello.
A lot of pitches. The pitch count was concerning me more than anything else.
Been blowing straight out.
Yeah, his curveball wasn't as sharp today as I've seen it in other days. But, you know, he battles. And, you know, when he had to make some pitches, he did.
Certainly, managers. I mentioned the White Sox made clowns of Tampa Bay tonight. For the second night in a row, offense showed some life. Andy Gonzalez in the 5th, deep to right and gone. His first homer of the majors. How about that? A 2-run shot. Very next man up, Jim Tomei goes the other way, too. This one goes to left, and it's gone a solo shot. Sox making it 2 in a row. They beat the Devil Rays 6-1. First back-to-back wins for the Sox since May 21st and May 22nd. Well, the NBA draft a couple of days away now, and the bottom line for the Bulls remains the same. Almost anything is possible. The Bulls have the 9th pick on Thursday night, and some people feel they will go for an immediate need. But that's not the feeling of John Paxson. The Bulls in dire need of a low-post scorer, and there are a few guys that may be available to help right now. But Paxson has to weigh all the possibilities, short-term and long-term, so don't pencil anything just yet.
We've just from day one been trying to worry about ourselves more than anything, and you know, we want to make the right decision for the organization. It may not be, you know, for tomorrow, but it might be 3 months from now or 6 months from now or a year from now. That's how we have to look at it. You know, there are really good players in this draft, and some of them are ready, some of them have a little ways to go, but that won't keep us from selecting that type of guy.
As expected, the Cubs have placed Ryan Dempster on the 15-day disabled list with a strained oblique muscle. Lots of fun today for NFL star Reggie Bush and soccer great David Beckham. Watch what happened here. Okay. We got it, but we don't have it. We'll show it to you tomorrow, I guess.
And I guess you'll tell us off camera.
Oh, there it is. There it is. It's Beckham. Now watch this. Beckham playing a football player, kicks a 40-yard field goal. This guy's a soccer star. Now, the most impressive, he's going out in the pass against Reggie Bush, the NFL star.
No.
And watch it. He makes the grab. Glad we showed this. Maybe you got to change careers.
Draft him to the Bears.
Maybe that's a stand-in. Who knows? I'm skeptical. That's the news for this Tuesday night. I'm Steve Sanders.
I'm Mike Mateer for Rich King, Tom Skilling, and all of us here. Have a great night.
Is that really him?
Yeah.